Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, fuck it. We're live now. So, what? How did you like the Doomsday? How did you like John from Doomsday Crypt yesterday?
He was cool. He was really chill. I can tell he was tired though, so
Yeah, well,
maybe we
he's,
can catch him at a better time.
or maybe
You
we'll
know.
catch him today.
Yeah,
Maybe he can
hopefully.
join on this stream.
Yeah, right.
We let anyone come watch us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look fresh, man. So, how do you feel, man? You've done like what, 5 streams in a week, right?
Yeah, like every night, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's funny because like we did two in one day. Like I saw Anthony yesterday morning when I woke up, and then I
Yeah.
saw him when I before I went to bed. And someone wrote a comment yesterday saying, I had a dream that you guys were streaming with the friendly men yesterday.
Wait, that who's streaming?
Someone wrote, I think it was Hobbs Horror, or someone in the community wrote a message saying, I had a dream that I think it was Echo Zero actually. Someone said, I had
Mm.
a dream that Echo was streaming with the friendly men. And then Echo was like, we were. He's like, oh shit, it's not a dream.
Yeah.
So yeah, which is pretty funny. Now, Echo, according to Echo, he says the numbers don't apply.
Yeah, the YouTube numbers aren't accurate
Yeah.
somehow.
Now, yeah. Sorry, how's the bacon?
Dude, it was good. Man, I made my classic green onion and cheese, cheddar cheese omelet, you know?
Nice.
And I use my homemade butter that I churned to fry it up and stuff. And then
Whoa.
I fried up some uncured bacon. It's good
Whoa. I,
eating.
I don't think I've ever had an uncured. I always buy like the Hungry Jack one, and
Just whatever you can get or what
yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we do have an American store that
Hmm.
I'm allowed. Actually, this is where I got this thing, dude.
Yeah, was that Arizona?
Yeah, man. Arnold Palmer, my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Dude, this thing is $1, right? To us Americans, that's cheap, but that's almost 20 Turkish liras in Turkey.
Damn. Um yeah, uncured bacon is better. It's like better quality, but just regular cured bacon actually it lasts longer obviously because it's cured, salted and all that.
Yeah, see, my wife and I, we got sick a few weeks ago from, well, we didn't get sick. We just had a little stomach ache from the bacon we ate a few weeks ago.
Mm.
You have to cook it right.
Yeah, you got to cook it like that's the thing about pork, man. You really need to. It's not like beef that you can, if you're cooking a steak, it's fine if it's a little pink. But with
Oh,
pork, you
yeah.
really need to fucking. It has to be fully cooked, or if not, you're sick. Just like
Yeah.
chicken.
Yeah, actually, I used to like ham when I was younger, but as I grew up, my family just kept eating it, and man, I can't eat it anymore. I
Yeah,
can't. I
like
can't eat it.
you're
Oh,
talking like a Thanksgiving ham,
yep,
or do you mean like
exactly.
gotcha
Exactly. Thanksgiving ham for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and my family just ate
the
it all the time.
sweetness?
Dude, I used to love it when I was a child, but like I just got like really sick from it one time. And then it just everything stopped after that.
Yeah, it's always like that. Whenever you get like I know people who hate like I know a guy who hates Chick-fil-A because he said the one time he ate it, he got like a food poisoning. He wasn't even
Mm.
sure if that's what made him sick. He just knew that was the last thing he ate. So when he had food poisoning, he was just thinking about the Chick-fil-A and he's like, I will never eat it.
And see, that's the weird thing because doesn't food poisoning take like 48 hours to be ineffective? So it could have been like a food like you ate the previous day.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. So, but it's like a psychological thing when you think about the last thing you
Yeah.
ate or something, it's like, oh man, it had to have been that chicken or something.
Yeah.
Unless when you ate it, it made you feel sick immediately after eating it. Probably, but I doubt that was the
Yeah.
case.
You know what? Last time I had Chick-fil-A, it wasn't that bad, actually. It's not
It's not
bad.
bad. No, yeah, it's not bad.
I remember they have good milkshakes, actually. I'm a fan of
People
milkshakes.
people go crazy for Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's good, but I don't go insane over it. I don't even eat fast food, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
You just stopped eating fast food completely, or?
Yeah. Like since I was a plumber, like you know, since I stopped working as a plumber, pretty much stopped eating fast food overall because I used to eat the shit out of it like every day, man. It was fast food, and man, it made me just like sick. Not literally, but just like I just don't want to eat this. I want real food, So
Yeah,
that's
fast
why,
food.
yeah, that's why I got into like cooking or eating somewhat healthier, not necessarily like salads and shit, but just real food, like real ingredients, fresh food.
That's awesome. All
So
right, so we have one viewer watching us right now. According to YouTube, 10-1 odds it's Echo Cero or Professor Macabro
according to
or
according
Patrick.
according to YouTube, that's one, but in reality, it's actually 10 because
You think so?
YouTube's not accurate.
All right, so
I'm
hey,
just
someone write,
kidding.
yeah, someone write in the comments. Yeah. Yeah, actually, when you went live with John yesterday on Doomsday, man, like it actually, I should have screenshot it for you, but it said like 156 are watching because he's on all platforms. So
Yeah. So when Pat and Echo says that, when they say that YouTube's what do you call it, viewer count is inaccurate, I wonder if it's like if there's actually more than what they're saying or the other way around. You know what I'm saying?
it could be both,
You
honestly.
know?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. See, I think like if you had a hell of a stream, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of, well, I don't know, man. YouTube is a more powerful, you know, I don't want to use the term CPU than like Instagram,
Mhm.
of course, but Instagram may just come and go and come and go and come and go.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't,
definitely.
but YouTube is where it's at, where the clean shots, the sound, the audio.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's working out really well. So, all right. Well, how do you feel being Jonas, like that guy who's you're literally doing everything now?
I don't even know, man. I'm just going with the flow.
Mm,
If
dude.
anything, I feel a little cringe. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like participating in all this stuff, and it's just like I'm almost scared to watch back on a lot of the things. Even dude, even the Johnny Kelly episode, I'm like, I have not rewatched that. I tried once. I'm like, oh, I don't even want to see.
Well, you have to watch it eventually to get like
Yeah,
the final cut because we'll need your help with videos you want to put in and those kinds of things.
yeah,
So
yeah, for
obviously
sure.
we'll need your help. Obviously. But I have the same feeling. However, my favorite stream that we've ever done was actually the one we did 2 days ago
With
with
Chabot,
Chabot and
that was the best
Echo, and
one.
that was amazing.
That was amazing.
And like Anthony's doing like the whole like, all right, we're gonna have a fat strip club and all these strippers are gonna be running on stage and stuff.
Yeah, that's when we actually brought the idea to them about chubbies. And now it's like a staple. Now we bring it up every time. Now they bring it up.
Yeah, actually, Echo and before we joined their stream last night, they brought it up.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, chubbies."
Okay, this is
Yeah,
random, but right now
go ahead.
I'm drinking the Earl Grey, the Turkish one, right? And I was looking at the back of the packet or the
Uh-huh.
box, and it was saying something about you could ice it, and it was telling you like giving you steps like what to put in it. And it says, sweeten it with honey and then add some lemon, just a little bit,
Mm,
not too much, but just to give it that citrusy like
sure.
tartness, like refreshing, and then freeze it, or not freeze it, but refrigerate it overnight. And I was laughing. I'm like, dude, that's exactly what I did like two
Yeah.
months ago. Whenever I was like, when I got bored, and I'm like, let me make iced tea with this because it tastes like iced tea, like but just hot. Like it already has that like kind of herbal flavor, like flowery almost. I don't know how to describe
Sure.
it, but it's not like black tea. It doesn't taste like English breakfast or anything like that. And I'm like, man, that's funny. That's exactly what I did.
And so, did you put it in the fridge or anything? Like, did you put it in the refrigerator?
Yeah, well, I had done it before, and I put honey, and then I squeezed the lemon slice and mixed it up, put it in the fridge, left it there overnight, and it was ice cold in the morning. And when I drank it, it was delicious.
See, I never thought about making iced tea before.
Yeah, I'm a fan of both. I mean, I'm from Texas. I
Same.
mean, I drink, there's sweet tea every restaurant you go to, so that's just kind of second nature for me to be like, oh man, what if I could make this in like sweet tea?
Oh yeah, sweet tea's the shit, man. Like I always was a fan of Lipton iced tea, and as you know, I'm drinking my Arizona right here, iced tea and lemonade flavored drink right here.
the best,
Man,
like the best sweet tea you can buy, I think, is the Gold Peak brand. You've seen those?
never seen them, man.
Gold Peak makes really good sweet tea and the best Arnold Palmers, but they sell them by the gallon. But you
Oh,
could buy little, individual bottles at like gas stations or something. But
see, last time I was in the U.S., the gas stations started to bring in like their own like milkshakes. Like it's like a cup, and it's like just frozen ice cream, and then you put in this machine, and it turns it into a milkshake.
hmm,
That was
interesting.
actually, yeah, that was actually really, really good. Yeah, I miss a good milkshake, man.
Oh yeah, dude, that's crazy because actually, like, it's not that I'm not a fan of dairy because clearly I am. Like, I be drinking goat milk and shit.
Yeah, 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 obviously
But
you are.
like, but I don't find myself eating ice cream and drinking milkshakes that often. And I like them, but I just don't.
You don't crave it.
Yeah, I guess so. And I guess it's just like, I guess it's with the things that I'm normally eating and drinking that, maybe a ice cream or milkshake would be a bad mix in the stomach. so, so that's probably why I'm like, no, I'm good.
So, hey, by the way, man, as after meeting you and listening to you talk, I actually went back and watched Halloween 3 not too long ago. And yeah, man, that movie, it's really good.
It's super good, dude. It's super good.
People bash it so much, man. And actually, I kind of like. You still surprise me because you don't like cult horror films, but it's
Mhm.
basically a whole Irish cult
Yeah.
town that works for Cochrane, right? Isn't that his
Yeah.
name, Mr.
Colin
Cochrane?
Cochran. Yeah.
Carl Cochrane. Hello, little boy.
Yeah.
Yes, these masks are not the ready ones. Go to these.
Yeah. That's dude. I mean, like, fuck, man. I mean, it's that the whole intro to that movie is just super cool. Where it's like the digital pumpkin like loading on
Yeah.
like the TV screen, and the music, that like retro synth,
Yeah,
sci-fi, spooky.
yeah, with the little synthesis. And that was the cool thing about that movie is I love it how it just opens. I love
Mm-hmm.
movies when they do that, when there's something happening and you don't know what's happening, but you're watching this person going through something. I always love openings like that
Oh
in
yeah, definitely.
movies and
There's
because
no yeah, there's no context. There's not even any speaking. It's just you're just all automatically in a situation with a guy that you don't even know, and you like when I saw Season of the Witch, that guy that was running away, I'm like, oh man, he must be the main character, and he wasn't.
yeah.
But that's the cool thing about those openings when they open like that is you just don't know what you're gonna expect. And that guy wasn't even the
Yeah.
main character. He died in like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then I think like the first person you see is Dick Warlock, right? Isn't like Dick one of the guys that comes out of the car and like
Yeah, yeah.
kills him or something?
Yeah, he's like he shows up later on when
Yeah,
he kills the homeless drunk guy, twists
yeah,
his head off.
And see, Ben watched that movie for the first time not too long ago during Halloween time, and he just messaged me and he just praised it. See, I kind of wish the Halloween series would have
Continued, yeah,
continued like that
with
way.
the
Just
anthology thing, yeah.
yeah, like here's another horror story on Halloween night, and
I agree. Like and that could be an unpopular opinion because, but dude, seriously, I mean, Season of the Witch was really good, and then I think what was it, Halloween 2, like almost didn't even happen. Doesn't John Carpenter hate that one too?
yeah, John. But here's the thing: Rick Rosenthal, like he directed it very well, but they tried adding the gore, and it just looked that gore in Halloween 2 like is so light. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he doesn't carve into the dude's neck. It's like a
No,
scratch
it's
on
more
his
just
neck.
like it's more just. I guess you could just say the killing style is just more graphic compared to the first one. The first one, it's not like they really focus so much on the kill scenes.
Sure.
It's mainly just the plot. But I think that with Halloween 2, I think a lot of that was because of like Friday the 13th came out like the year before that, and
The
that was
second one,
pretty.
right?
The first one,
Yeah. It was 80. Yeah. So wait. Yeah. You're right. You're right. And Halloween or Friday the 13th had some pretty brutal kills.
yeah. So I guess like they wanted to reamp that whenever they did 2.
But man, when you watch it now, though, it just looks like he's just scratching his neck. Like it doesn't.
Mhm.
It looks like it's just like a little. And then how does he take like what was it, like a little small knife, and he hangs a woman by her
Yeah,
back
with
and
a scalpel,
a scalpel, yeah. And then you're like, he probably missed an important bone. She's probably okay.
unless he got her right between the spinal discs, and he was just I don't
Yeah,
know,
right.
just
And then
magic.
there's that the scene that bugs me a lot about Halloween 2 is how Dick Warlock walks down the stairs like this, like holding his
Yeah,
scalpel up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Hey, Mimi's here.
What's up, Mimi?
Hey, Mimi, you want to go live with us? Here, Mimi, I'm gonna send the invite. Mimi, did you get StreamYard? Did you get it? Did you get it? Yeah, the first one and
What
the
was I
very
gonna
last
say?
one. I think I kind of what happened in between. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I really like, but I really do like how Michael Myers looks in
Mm.
Halloween 2. I like
Oh
how he looks,
yeah.
even with the like kind of yellowed mask. It's kind of cool looking. Like the beginning of Halloween 2 is like got to be the coolest to me when he's just kind of like in the background
Oh
of
yeah.
that lady's house in the kitchen.
Yeah, and then she like there's like little splatters of blood on the table, and she
Yeah.
just goes
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
ah! But you know what? I will say this though. What an incredible job for the first movie to the second movie in the same night, like 5 years after the first one was made. Like, wow, what are you serious? That's your ringtone is Halloween 3?
Sure is.
That's awesome.
Damn right.
Hey, hey, Mimi, I'm gonna send you the link on your WhatsApp so you can come join us. Oh, cool. Yeah, here, I'm gonna send it to link. All right, I'll download the stream. Okay. Hey, I'm about to have a movie night with the hitchhiker. Oh, the hitchhiker. Yeah, that was good. Which hitchhiker though? The first one or the original one? All right, so that is an
Yeah,
awesome ringtone.
that's hilarious. I never even mentioned that. I've honestly, it's been my ringtone for so long, I forget it's even my ringtone.
Yeah. So hey, Mimi's about to watch the hitchhiker.
That's cool.
The original one with Rutger Hauer, I think, right?
I've never seen it. Never seen that.
I saw the remake with it was a Michael Bay Productions from Texas Chainsaw, 2003.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna fix me another cup.
All right, go get yourself another cup. I'll be here with the lovely people here. So, hey everybody, we're talking about Halloween with Jonas and I, and please write your comment. What's your favorite Halloween film? Ours is well, probably 1 in 3, I would say. Yeah, the first one's really good, and the last one I kind of gathered what happened. Yeah, Halloween Ends is all right. It's not the best one, but there's some. It's not terrible either, though. I don't know. I didn't hate it. Neither did I. Didn't hate Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends like Jonas did, but Jonas really hated that movie. Just absolutely hated it. And it's kind of sad. And yeah. So, well, I was hoping that my friend Mark would be with us, but Mark is probably doing what Mark loves to do. So I'm going to take a shot in the dark and send him a link. Yeah. Get StreamYard. Yeah, and Mimi, you're going to need StreamYard for Patrick's show too. You're going to need it from the Have Cheetah Will View YouTube channel. Which wouldn't be surprised if Patrick is watching us right now. Actually, Patrick, are you here? Echo? Echo Zero? Professor Macabro? Oh, sweet. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, the Daniel Radcliffe guy. Yeah. Oh. Sure. You can ask Jonas. He's right here.
What's up?
All
What I
right.
missed?
Mimi asked, why did you hate Halloween Ends? See, I don't hate Halloween Ends, but she wants to know, why did you hate it? Why did he hate it? Is what she said.
Well, I just think it was disappointing, like the way it was like a build up that they didn't give, if that makes any sense. Plus, it was kind of all over the place, and I just feel like it was like the worst time for them to introduce another guy who's going to be Michael Myers or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I was in the theater, and when I realized like that at that scene, I'm like, oh man, okay, yeah, this isn't looking too well. So I just went back to the bar, and I got me another drink. They were having like some Halloween Michael Myers like exclusive cocktails, and I had like 3 of them.
Did they have like a explain them, what is the drink of the cocktail?
Like an alcoholic drink, with like whiskey or liquor, and using.
But did they decorate it like Halloween style? Or?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was called, because they actually had pretty creative names. I don't even remember. Like one was like
the Strode,
something like that, like the Loomis, and it was like a whiskey or something, and I don't know. But then there's the
Did you go to Alamo Draft House?
Did you? No, I went to another one. It's kind of like Regal.
Yeah. Oh, Cinemark. Dude, there's Jesse right there, man. We were talking about him yesterday. All right, so you went to another like franchise. My friend Kurt drew that picture. That's an old picture from 2 years ago. So, all right, so you were saying, Jonas?
Yeah. It's kind of like but it's a huge cinema. It looks like a Greek style structure, and it's real fancy. There's like bars in there, restaurants, bowling alleys, and all sorts of crazy stuff. But I had to get those Halloween exclusive drinks, and yeah, boy, did I need it.
I didn't. You know what? I think one of the reasons why I didn't hate Halloween Ends is because my expectations were already so low. I'm just like, Halloween Kills. I just found that one of the most annoying movies I've ever seen. Not so bad, but more annoying.
Very annoying. I mean, there's some cool stuff in there, but it was pretty annoying. The 2018 one is the only one I actually like.
Oh yeah,
they could have easily ended it there too, but
100%. They should have ended it after 2018. It was a perfect
climax
ending.
Oh yeah, that one was actually scary too.
Yeah,
I think that was the scariest one.
But the best part about Halloween Ends is when they put his body in like the incinerator, man.
The like it's like a scrap metal grinder, and
Yeah.
his skull pops and shit. That was funny. It's like,
Well,
oh,
like,
that's that, I guess. You know.
you know, and like here, this is what kind of blows my mind away, and I'm sure Jesse Bennett feels the same. Is like, you know, like when they execute like serial killers outside of like prisons, you know, and there's always people protesting like, "Don't kill, don't kill, don't kill."
Hmm.
Put that Michael Myers in the real world, people would be like, "Oh, he's just a person.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Don't
much.
incinerate, even though he killed a lot of people. Still, don't incinerate him."
The thing is, like, and if you know, 40 some years ago, a guy killed 6 people in a town, I'm pretty sure 40 years later, people aren't going to be like, "Oh, we will never forget," kind of shit. Like I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like worse things have happened in the town I live in than that, and nobody even talks about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, well, like being close to Milwaukee, man, like Jeffrey Dahmer
Yeah,
was the
that's right.
one, you know?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Jesse, those ghost face popcorn cups. You get one for free?
oh, Mimi, of course, Jonas and I have to recommend The Maid by our buddy Lee. The Maid, you can find it on Tubi. You gotta watch The Maid.
Watch The Collector. I have like I wrote down like a couple of movies that I thought were really really good but not talked about. And here I can grab that too.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Let's discuss it.
Sinister. Have you seen Sinister
I
2012?
still I still have never
Oh
seen
my god,
Sinister,
dude.
but I heard the
You're
second one was
tripping.
terrible.
The second one was eh. The first one with Ethan Hawke, dude, you gotta watch that one. That one, that's the only movie that actually creeps me out because it's got like that 70s Super 8 snuff film kind of vibe, and like I just have a weird personal like feeling about 70s
Well,
homes
Ethan
and
Hawke
stuff.
just did
Like,
that
I don't know.
70s retro movie over the summer, that horror
The
film with
Black
the
Phone. That's
that
another
was
good one. You know what?
it is good.
That's the same director as Sinister.
There you go. I'm
That's why it's
sold.
70s and it has the same vibes. So that's another good one.
And the Black Phone I thought was actually really cool.
That
So
was
yes, I will watch Sinister. I promise.
that one was refreshing. Mimi, you should watch Sinister. That's a good one. What else? The Collector. That one's good. Um, you know what? What about The Crazies?
I finally watched the original Crazies for the first time like last year, and I like it. Of course, the new one. I've watched new. They're both good movies, believe it or
Hmm.
not. Like I did not hate the remake at all. I actually there's a lot of good things about the remake, and I believe
Hmm.
George Romero was also a producer on it.
Yeah.
So, but I actually the original one, it's that 70s noir look that just makes it feel so
Yeah.
authentic, I should say.
Yeah. I've grown to really like the remake, like, in the
Oh, the
past like
remake's
two
good,
years.
dude.
Because I remember like at first I'm like, it's all right. Like I didn't really care for it that much. And then like years went by and I like decided to just watch it again because it was free on Netflix or something. So I watched it. I'm like, this is actually really good. And it's scary, you know?
Yeah, like with the scene with all the babies in the room and like the villagers holding like the pitchfork and stuff like that, you know?
The yes, Sinister. Watch that.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? No, the scene where they're in like the truck station and she's in there like grabbing like water bottles and
Let's
shirts.
get Dan. Let's get Dan on the show. Let's see if Dan on the stream. Let's see what he thinks. All right, so continue. Go ahead.
You know the scene where she's in the truck station and she's grabbing like drinks and shirts and like the camera pans and you see that zombie trucker guy standing in the background, but he's like out of focus and he's just
Pretty
staring at
creepy.
her. That shit was creepy.
All right, so you said Sinister, Collector, and The Crazies. What are the other two films?
See, this one here is like, I mean, yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's underrated as in like it's a masterpiece, but it's like really fun. and it's just, again, it's not talked about. But VFW, have you seen that one?
I've never seen VFW.
Have you heard of it?
No.
Oh man, it's got Stephen Lang and a couple of other dudes. I forget their names, but Stephen Lang's in it. I think
I
it
love
came out
Stephen Lang.
2019, so it's not even old. And basically, it's about an old group of dudes. They're all like, Korean War, Vietnam War vets, and they run the local VFW, and they meet up like every Friday night, and they just get shit faced, and they're a bunch of old guys, and they just reminisce on old stories from back in the day. Anyways, so it's one of the guys. It's his birthday, and his buddy surprises him with tickets to the strip club. And,
hey, Dan.
Hey,
what's up, man?
what's up?
So, hey, Dan, how you doing? Nice T-shirt
Good, how are
there.
you? Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invitation.
No problem. We're talking about his top five movies, horror films that they don't talk about anymore.
VFW is awesome. I love
Right?
that movie.
It's really good,
I
and it's
bought it,
fun.
I had my sons watch it, and they liked it, but I don't know if they appreciated how cool it was to see all those old time actors assembled.
Definitely.
Together. It was
Definitely.
amazing. Fred Williamson was over 80 when he made that movie.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Fred the
Wow.
Hammer Williamson. Great movie. The director, Joe Bagos, is really good.
Wow.
That's a
sounds
fun
like
one.
it sounds like a little bit like Deer Hunter, actually. Is it like Deer Hunter? Like all these old guys from the war getting together?
It's a lot
Reminisce-
faster than that. It's more like Assault on Precinct 13, something like
Which
that.
is awesome. We talked about that movie yesterday.
Yeah, which is awesome.
I still have never seen the remake of Assault on Precinct 13
I remember liking it
with Ethan Hawke.
with Ethan Hawke. Yeah,
I haven't seen that one.
yeah.
I think
They put in some twists, to make it a little different. But the 70 has that. The original one has that 70s charm and the John Carpenter vibe and
Mhm.
the children getting executed.
That's
That
what
was, and
that's
they,
what Wes was talking about.
yeah, and they don't hold back any punches, man. Like that little girl's like eating her ice cream, and then boom, she's just dead. And
That's the
Yeah.
thing about those movies, man. Like when they get taboo with it and they're killing kids, it's like, damn, they really went there. But I know a lot of people don't like that stuff. Like they don't want to see that. But like for me, it's not necessarily that I want to see that, but it's like when they do that, I respect it because it's just like, they just didn't hold back.
Yeah, it showed you what this gang was capable of in the
Mhm.
beginning of the film. I mean, they had like a mission, the gangs had made a truce to go after the police, and there was like nothing going to stop them. So,
yeah. All right, so Jonas, you have one more you want to mention?
Well, that's what I had so far.
That's a good list.
Yeah, I'm sure I can come up with more. I just have to think.
Now, what? Okay, so we're all right. Now, I was watching a video about Land of the Dead yesterday, and I've never seen the two Dead movies after that: Survival of the Dead and Island of the Dead.
I've never seen Land of the Dead.
What? Dan, chime in. Did you like Land of the Dead?
I think I saw part of that once on cable, and I didn't love it. And I've heard people talk about those three movies, and I'm afraid I'm just going to be disappointed. So I've just been avoiding.
Yeah, I hear a lot of mixed reviews, but mostly bad.
Yeah, you hear people trying to like salvage little things that they liked about it. You know what I mean? Like, well, this part wasn't that bad, and I hold the original trilogy in such high esteem. I just don't want to, I just don't want to be disappointed. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I get
All right.
that.
Sorry. So Jonas Mimi says Halloween ends. I was in the cinema and the kids' stuff made me laugh so much. Yeah, how they shot it just. Bleh, bleh. So Dan, your thoughts on Halloween ends? Why is it the most hated one?
The day after I saw it, I actually put a post on Instagram and said, "Yeah, it's not that bad." And then, but since then, like the more I think about it, like the more irritated I am. I'm not like, I don't hate it. I'm not going off on rants or anything.
I'm the same. I'm the same.
There was some good aspects to it.
Of course.
It just kind of made me wish that they incorporated some of those ideas throughout the trilogy. It's you're jump starting new ideas in the last film. Right?
Exactly. That's
know,
what I
and
was.
I'm like,
That's exactly how I felt.
Corey could have been a character throughout the whole trilogy, or so, you know, and
He could have been introduced in the first one. Yeah.
yeah, it was odd to me. And to be honest, like we didn't get like there wasn't a whole lot of there were some cool parts, I guess, sure. What's his name? The guy that plays Michael, he's great at it. I mean, he's really good at it, you know. But
Oh yeah, James Jude Courtney.
Yeah, James Jude Courtney. Yeah. You know, we didn't get any like cool like or if we did, maybe I would forget. But we didn't get any like cool like tracking shots down the street and you know, I don't know.
I feel like they focused on that a lot in 2018.
Yeah.
Or even the second, even Kills at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he's like walking down the recreating the second movie.
Yeah.
So my biggest problem with the series, though, and I've been living out of the States for about 10 years now, and I don't know, man, our whole town's just assholes now. Because like,
right, yeah.
like I mean, when Jamie Lee Curtis goes to the freaking supermarket, like she's getting hassled, like it's your fault, and then she like, dude, freaking Corey's hanging out at a gas station, and 3 random guys are like, "Hey, buy us beer," and then they beat him up. I'm like,
and I can assure you, the band kids aren't bullying anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the ones getting bullied.
So that was my biggest problem with the series is I don't care about anybody in this town. You know, like everyone's just a big asshole to each other. And I just, hey man, I'm from a small town in America and I don't remember like hating my neighbor or hating this person or going
resenting, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you know, like and then just everyone's an asshole, including the kid. Like that's how it opens as a jerk kid. And you're like, and then the mom becomes a bitch. And then like everyone's a bitch. It's like, I hate and that's the one thing, Dan, that's really bothering me about these modern horror films from Hollywood is everyone's an asshole.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and that was when you go back and watch the earlier like Halloween movies and stuff, even back to Rob Zombie's Halloween. The girls are just, yes, okay, maybe girls do talk about the stuff that Danielle Harris and the Taylor Scott Thompson, right, Jonas? Right?
Yeah. Scout Taylor Compton.
Scott Taylor, whatever her name is. Yeah, Scott Taylor. I mean, okay, fine. Yeah, sure. Maybe they do talk like that. But when you watch the 70s one, they just talk so naturally with each other.
They're just normal.
They're just like, and like I've had friends who would smoke cigarettes and they're like, oh shit, my dad. You know what I mean? Like all these worlds are just full of jerks.
Yeah. There's like hardly any likable characters anymore. They're just you could care less if they die or not.
Yeah. I just got to see Christine on the big screen.
Oh, that's a great movie.
That is a good movie.
Whoa.
I saw Creepshow and Christine. We had to leave before The Shining because I couldn't stay that long and the theater was an hour away. But yeah, like those scenes in high school in the beginning, I mean, they were, you know, they were just like, I mean, yeah, you had the one Buddy Rapperton. I mean, he's just like, you know, the bully of bullies, you know, but Repperton, whatever, and his whole crew. But the rest of the dialogue was so natural, you know. It was like these are like just regular kids. And then when Arnie goes off the deep end, which I never really appreciated before until I saw it on the big screen and I saw his face at the end when he was, you know, he's driving and the lights are almost like changing the shape of his face, and he is like he's gone. He's like possessed by Christine. You felt so bad because of where he came from. Just in that 90-minute span, you know.
What a great example, Dan, because actually I think all of us, including myself, I had a friend in high school like Arnie. You know what I mean? Like I was the cool one. I always had a nerd friend that was kind of outcasted from everybody else and acted like Arnie would. And then when my nerd friend got a girlfriend, it was like, you know, I wasn't playing football or anything and didn't get into an accident, but I was like, hey man, good job. You know, like, yeah, it's just, the characters are just written so well, you know, but I'll tell you what, when I was in high school, band kids never went to a liquor store and tried to find a guy like, hey, motherfucker, give me some
Yeah,
beer. You know?
these kids are like 17, 18 years old, and
Yeah.
they're bullying like a grown man.
Yeah.
Who's
You know,
go
it's
ahead,
funny
Dan.
too. Even in the newer Spider-Man movies, Flash Thompson is on the science team. You know, he was the stereotypical jock in the comics. You know,
hmm
square jawed. You know, pick on the nerds football player with a Letterman jacket. Now he's on the science team, and he's still like bullying other people on the
Yeah.
science team. I don't know.
See, okay, now you want to get into more. My biggest problem with that movie, with No Way Home, was it wasn't bad, but I was a little bit underwhelmed of the praise and everything. And that was what actually, Dan, that was one of my biggest complaints is these characters. And then once again, those characters are written so terribly. You know, like when did you watch No Way Home, Jonas? No, you didn't. You hate Marvel films. Okay, that's fine. But like in the movie No Way Home, one of my biggest problems is they're talking about how terrible Mary Jane's life is, and like, oh my God, I will never go to university. What does she do? She goes to her coffee shop the next day, and everything is perfectly fine and normal. And people are talking to her like, "Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I want a coffee." Okay, she's like,
Yeah.
"But my life is so bad." Like, I don't see any evidence that her life is in. She's so miserable. Her life is fine.
Yeah. In the 70s, a lot of the teenagers lived in like trailer parks, and they had like, you know, no future, and it was a little grimmer than that, I think.
That's why I appreciate the older films, like Jonas does. You know, all right, Jonas, what did you think of Christine? Did you get? I love that movie.
Oh yeah, that's a really good movie. I saw that. I've seen it once, and that was probably like 3 years ago. But yeah, it was really good, and I had just put it on just to go to sleep, honestly, because it was free on. I think it was like Prime Video,
Okay.
and I ended up actually watching it.
Yeah.
But
And
it was really good.
and another amazing score
Oh yeah.
in Christine.
hmm
Oh, another amazing score. So now what? So Dan, tell us about this event you went to. So they were showing like, I would love to.
It's first of all, what's up, Bones? Mr. Bones.
So,
Mr. Bones is here. Mr. Bones is always here. I
Yeah,
was
awesome.
expecting
Awesome.
Patrick to chime in, but I
Awesome
guess
YouTuber,
not.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Colonial Theater is in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. That's the theater that is featured in the original movie, The Blob. When the Blob,
The Steve McQueen one, right?
yeah, the Steve McQueen one.
Oh yeah.
Where my dad always pointed out that you see there his name's Steven, but later he changed it to Steve. My dad was always throwing facts at me about movies. And this was filmed right outside of Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia. So yeah, they restored that theater. They have like a Blob Fest every year. It's kind of like a convention/street festival.
Yeah.
They will play the Blob. They get to the part in the movie where the Blob comes in and everyone runs out. And then everybody runs out. They open the doors and everyone runs out. I've never been to that, but I've been trying to get to one of their events for a long time. Last year they had, and they do this on Super Bowl Sunday, which is good for me. I have zero interest in sports.
Perfect.
Last year they had
Same.
Tom Atkins Bowl. They had 3 Tom Atkins movies, and I was going to go. And on the day that morning, I had a conflict and I couldn't go. I was crushed. I was like crushed. I was like, oh. So you better believe this year I was ready. So my son and I went, and they had a Stephen King. They called it the 3 Kings, the 3 Stephen King movies. So yeah,
Wow.
great time, great theater, great bunch of people. I'm thinking about going back there later this month because my wife often gets left out of these things because she's not into horror. They're showing and they bring back all kinds of movies. They're showing Casablanca. So my daughter, I'm thinking about taking my wife and my daughter to see that because that's only 90 minutes, and then we can walk around the town because it's a cool little town. Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. So you have like films for your son, and then you have films for
Right.
your kid, for your daughters. Yeah. You know what?
Pretty cool.
Dan, I was asking another underrated Stephen King movie, Graveyard Shift.
Oh, I have vague memories of that on late night cable.
It's
To be honest, I don't remember loving it.
pretty boring,
Yeah.
but
but I don't even know if I got to like the good parts. There's rats in that, right?
Yeah, and the killer is a giant mutant rat living
Yeah.
in the cellar of this fabric factory company. That's
I read
Yeah.
the story. I remember liking it. And I've seen a lot of rat movies. It's a little niche of mine. So eventually I'll probably have to sit down and watch it.
now. All right. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the Children of the Corn remake?
Uh, not.
Like everybody else,
I wasn't expecting one. And all of a sudden there's a trailer for it, and I have fond memories of the original one, and that's about it, really. So if I hear great things about it, then I'll check it out.
no. Jonas, did you? I've never seen any sequels to any of the Corns. I only watched the first one.
Yeah, me too. And I don't even think I've seen the remake.
Well, the remake is coming out. I think it's coming out.
I was
in
like,
a few weeks.
I was like, I haven't even heard of this when this come out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dan, do you recommend any of the sequels to any of the Children of the Corns? Because I've never seen any of them.
I even if I've seen them, I've got them all jumbled up. I can't really
Yeah.
remember them.
Nothing really,
Yeah.
nothing to write home about.
Nothing
That's
that I know
like-
about. Yeah.
That's like a franchise that has like 7 or 8 movies, but nobody cares about the sequels
Yeah.
at all. Like you know what I mean? That's like you have a Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street box set, you have a Halloween box set, you have a Friday the 13th box set, but nobody gives a shit about a Children of the Corn
Yeah,
box set.
I've heard discussion after discussion about like which Halloween sequel is my favorite, and here are my reasons why this one's is my favorite. I've never heard anyone go in any great detail about any of the Children of the Corn sequels.
You
I
know,
like the-
you know who I wish they would make movies after? Richard Matheson.
Oh yeah,
He's yeah, his books are really good, and I wish they would make, with the exception of I Am Legend. But I think even with I Am Legend, they could have made that way cooler. If it was anything like how the actual book is.
Patrick, it's about time. Patrick, I'm sending you the link. Pat, come live with us. All right, let's get Patrick on here. Maybe Pat. I bet you.
Which one
Best
is
of
that?
Richard Matheson.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He
bet
wrote
you
Stir of Echoes and all that.
So
they did
much.
make a movie about Stir of Echoes, though.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I bet you Patrick is probably the only guy who probably has all Children of the Corn sequels. I bet you it's
Probably.
Patrick.
Well,
Pat.
He
His
did
favorite
interview Courtney
is
Gaines.
probably
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course, Patrick, come live with us and tell us what's your favorite sequel, The Children of the Corn. I'm just expecting Patrick to be like, part 6 and 5
Yeah.
are okay, but
yeah.
3's kind of weak. Speaking of the devil, here he is. So,
You would
all
say
right,
like, oh,
Pat.
part 1 is stinky.
Yeah. The good one, Patrick. Of
Yeah,
course,
the good
of
one is the
course,
worst
good
one.
Yeah, but
Uh,
here, go ahead, Pat.
Mor- I was gonna say good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it's morning and evening my time. Yeah. So, Pat, sequels of Children of the Corn. Do you recommend them?
You know what? Wow, who's to say? There's some really good there's some good individual performances, but overall, maybe not so much.
Yeah, because we're talking with Dan and Jonas. Nobody talks about those sequels.
I didn't even really like the short story, to tell you the truth. I thought it was pretty pointless.
So, what did you think of the first movie with Linda Hamilton? And
I liked the movie.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I liked the movie, and I liked how they changed the ending of it. I was okay with that.
So now, did you see that in theaters, Pat?
Yeah, I did actually. I was like, there's only like 10 people with me, but I did see it.
So with the first, I need to ask you, Patrick, the first scene of that movie at the diner, what was going through your head the first time you watched this movie in a theater?
Oh my gosh, it's been years since I've seen it. I don't have any copies of the series. I don't have a single one. But we did interview. We did interview Courtney Gaines, though.
How was that?
He was great. Fun interview.
Wasn't he Malachi, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
he was
yeah.
Malachi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Malachi.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, he was
I heard
cool.
it.
Very cool.
Yeah, I heard. So yeah, but Dan, what about you? Did you watch the first Children of the Corn in theaters? when it
No,
came
I
out?
think I saw it on cable. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I. It's one of those movies I watched with a bunch of guys. You know, like we've rented a VHS tape, and
Uh-huh.
there was so much going on, I couldn't, because some people liked it, some people didn't really like it. That I meant to like rewatch it, and it's been several decades, and I still haven't done that. But I did find there was actually a half-hour film from the 70s, a half-hour version of it. I guess it was just like an independent film. It was only a half an hour, and it was on the used to be on the White Slaves of Chinatown web YouTube page, but I don't think it's there anymore. And I watched it. I was like, wow, that was pretty good. And it was only half an hour, and I'm like, I think they pretty much covered all the bases in a half an hour. But I do remember liking the original one, and especially some of the performances. I mean, they did. When you get a kid that you're trying to, when you're casting a creepy kid and you get some creepy kids, they don't always pull that off, and that worked in the original one.
And see, I remember going to a friend's house who had it on VHS, and just that I was a child, like I was probably 10 or 11 years old, but watching cute girls wearing, like restaurant uniforms, shoving a dude's head in in a microwave or something. I'll never get that image out of my head. And like the cute girl behind the counter with the switchblade, you know what I mean? Oh man, I'll never forget that. Jonas, what about you? Did the first scene of Children of the Corn, did that stick out to you?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But it's been forever since I've seen it. So
The
honestly,
music though is really good.
yeah. Honestly, like I was never really too big on Stephen King movies. I mean, I really liked it though, a lot.
Which version of it?
The Tim
The
Curry
recent
one.
Oh, the Tim Curry one.
Yeah, that I like that one a lot. Like I really like that. I watched that like every year. I don't know why. I watch it around Halloween time.
There's a theory about that. I've always thought this. It's like every movie that they put Stephen King's name on it, like Stephen King's Children of the Corn. Anytime they put Stephen King's name on the poster, the movies doesn't really seem to do very well. But the ones that they don't, like Shawshank Redemption or The Green Mile or Misery, when they don't put his name on there, the movies seem to do a lot better at the theater.
The Green Mile is a really good movie.
Oh yeah, Green Mile is fantastic.
Now, Stand By Me, I think that did pretty well, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Which one? Stand By Me?
Yeah. But I don't think they put his name over. I don't think his name was on above the credit. No.
So, hey Jonas, I'm gonna grab my drink, entertain these guys. Patrick, you're the host. All right, I'll be right back.
I'm gonna pass the hosting duties over to Mr. Dan. It's funny. It's funny you're here, Mr. Dan, because I just sent you something on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
I've been meaning to send it. This YouTube channel. I said, you know what? I've been meaning to send it to you. I'm going like, man, Dan would absolutely love this channel like I do. It's this guy in Australia. His name's Marty, and he does makeovers of all these Hot Wheels and Matchbox models.
Oh, okay.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You'll get hooked.
Yeah. I used to watch some of those. I don't know about this guy, but there's some guys out there that do that, and they are actually like true artists. You think it's just kid stuff, but they take the paint off and take it apart and start from scratch. And some of the stuff that they could do is amazing.
You know what I found out? I didn't. It just tells you how crazy this place is. So I've been watching Marty for a long time, and he's just really skilled. He's, you can see his skill level. But then there's
I actually have to reheat my tea too, so I'll be right back.
There's actually some guys that I never would have thought this was possible, but what they do is they take some of these bigger toys and they age them on purpose.
Oh yeah.
And they age them on purpose, and then they just restore them, and it's this horse shit. And you can tell it's horseshit. It's like wow, I never would have thought that. I'm thinking watching it and going like, but people who know, they're going like, yeah, that guy, he aged that for like a month.
right,
And
right,
it's like, wow. I mean, he didn't find us and restore it.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
He just, yeah.
You see that with
Crazy.
a lot of things. Like somebody's like, "Oh, I found an old tool behind the barn, and I'm going to restore
Right.
it." Some of it's real, some of it's real. But some of
Marty's
it's,
is all real. I mean, you
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
see some of the stuff that he's had to restore.
yeah,
It's absolutely insane. And I thought, well, Mr. Dan, he loves Hot Wheels, and I gotta send this to him because
yeah,
he'll
yeah.
be he'll dig it.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
I
I thought you were going with that was when they add like the rust effects and things to a vehicle
yes,
to
they
make it
do
look
that
like,
too.
yeah, that's really cool the
Well,
way they do that.
but it's funny though. It's like they get called out for it, and they put that up there, and then they get lit up. And I'm
Yeah.
just thinking, like the first time you try to do that, and like, there's like 50 people, 60 people in your chat are going like horse shit, and you think that you would have enough. You think you'd take it down, maybe like an apology or something, and say like, yeah, okay, I try to make it so like I was just seeing if you guys were really watching or something, but to actually try to do that and say that it's your own work,
Hmm.
oh man, it's just it's
Yeah. I guess
embarrassing.
when you have a certain number of followers, I guess you just get cavalier about it. Like, oh, I'll lose some, but I'll gain some more.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a
I'm
lot of
glad
that
these
on
guys are
YouTube.
doing. I'm glad these guys are doing another pop up. They had one yesterday, and James was gonna delete it. And I said, don't do that because, you're going to get some people watching it, rewatching it.
Yeah.
And look, sure enough, I checked to look, and they had 75 people viewing that from yesterday. I was like, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
They actually had James actually had spur of the moment he had I forget what's the name of the other guy, not Ant, the other friendly
They had
man.
Mark.
He was like, "Hey Mark, do an intro for Mr. Dan's channel." So he did it like spontaneously. I wanted to go back and watch that, because it was really cool, but that one they had deleted. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I told him not to do that anymore. I said, if you're going to do pop-ups, because pop-ups are the best.
Yeah,
When you don't announce it, you just come up there and do it.
Mhm.
Man, you get some of the best. You get some of the best views,
Right.
and because these guys are really talented.
Yeah.
These guys are really talented. Did you see the interview I did with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed talking with them, and then they got me 2 guests already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they got me
believe it.
Jerry Montano from Danzig.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I
that
was
was
just
big.
like, yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
that was a Wednesday. Wednesday is my my weekly meeting, so sometimes I can sneak in a little bit, but it's hard sometimes to pop
I
in
got
and listen. But yeah, I gotta go back and listen to that one.
yeah, I got to push that back out again because that was really good. That was a really
Yeah.
good interview.
Yeah,
Nice guy, super
yeah,
nice guy.
yeah. He seems like it. I mean, yeah, these guys have interviewed a lot of really cool people. I mean, and
Oh,
bands and
yeah.
things, and
I watched the one interview they did where they paired up John Christ from Danzig with another band, Wintervorg.
Yeah, Winterborg.
Oh,
Yeah.
that interview was tight. I'm going like, man,
Okay.
that's a great interview. It was a peer interview.
Well,
The
that's
band,
cool. Yeah.
Dan, those are the best.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really, I really like that.
I like a band called Winter Sea, and I'm going to try to see them. They're coming to Pittsburgh, I think, right around the time my son's done his school year, so I might be able to time that. But every time I saw that interview like 3 times, and I was like, they interviewed Winter Sea, and I was like, oh, it's Winterborg, but it's all good.
Man, I just, it's just something about that. When you watch musicians or actors or anything else, when they can talk to each other about their craft.
Yeah.
Even though you might be just like a moderator,
Right.
but
Right.
still to be able to sit there and watch that, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's because they talk their own language,
Right.
and just makes it seem much more impactful.
Oh yeah. 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 Even
Well,
MTV back in the day would have those documentaries. I forget what the name of it is, but they would have like artists narrating it. Like somebody would be narrating our 45-minute thing about Jimi Hendrix, and just the fact that it was somebody who played guitar narrating it seemed to make it better. You know.
Right. It's it really is because of the fact that they can understand, they can relate to it. They
Yeah.
can they can actually play some of the stuff. They can
Right.
play the guitar and they can play some of and it does make it a little bit more impactful. So I really enjoyed that interview, and I'm glad these guys are here. They were thinking about just staying on Instagram, doing Instagram live, and I'm like, no, man, you need to
Uh,
need to bring your party to here to the tube.
yeah.
Guys, I've been listening to your lovely comments, man. This has been awesome. And I just love hearing everything that you guys are talking about. We started this channel as a comedy channel, just kind of doing our own hijinks and comedy, but we just started getting all these guests, like our first guest was a real life superhero, believe it or not, based out of Florida. His name was Master Legend. There was a documentary about him. And then once we got him, we were like, man, these guests are fun. Like, we can talk to them and do more. And by the way, Vinter Sorg is the name of that band from Sweden. But yeah,
Are you familiar with the band Vintersea at all, James?
Never heard of them.
Oh, okay. They're in the Pacific Northwest. They're really good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're really good. And the guy that makes their videos, his nickname is Hot Carl with a K. He's like, my goal is maybe to get up to the point where I can interview one of them or some of them, because this guy he should start making short horror films, because their videos are coming across like short horror films.
Yeah.
I mean, he's as far as cinematography goes, he's extremely talented.
Speaking of which, on this subject, I've been very fortunate enough to meet filmmakers from all over the world, and living in Turkey, I met a lot of very, very important people, very cool people. And I must say, we met this guy from Thailand a few months back. We did an interview with him back in August, I think, and his new monster movie is coming out next weekend in theaters in the US.
Oh.
And I'm trying to plan something with Patrick and some other people to do a live interview with him after the release of the movie's been out in Thailand for 9 months already.
Okay.
But now it's going to get to the stateside. So now we're going to try. It's a kaiju film, by the way. It's a monster film. Yeah. And all practical, well, not all, but a lot of practical effects. There's a real practical monster that they create. The Lake. It's called The Lake. The trailer looks outstanding, and that's one of our guys.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm eager to see that.
Yeah. And Patrick, thank you so much for the nice words, Patrick. I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. Yeah. So yeah. See, I was glad. It's like, wow. I came over and I saw you guys. It popped up on my notification. Of course, 50 minutes late, right?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Actually, I have to go to the bathroom here in a second, but I just want to come back on and just say, like, you guys are great. I'm listening to you guys as I'm on my phone doing something else. But yeah, I know, but hey, I am just, Dan, how do you feel about being on Have Cheetah Will View during March Munch,
Awesome. Yeah,
I thought wait a minute, Mr. Dan was here before me. It must be Mr. Dan is hosting today.
Yeah. So, Mr. Dan, quick question: out of all you've said you've interviewed a lot of people, what were some of the most popular guests that you've had?
No, I haven't interviewed anybody.
Oh,
I want to work my way up to doing that?
Are you interested in interviewing people?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I need to get a little more stable.
Sure.
Like, for example, as of at 3:00 tomorrow, this will be my son's room because he's coming back for spring break. We have I was at my dad's place all morning cleaning it out. We don't know if we're going to keep it or not. He passed away recently, so
I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, no, thank you. So it's like, and I do have like an office, and it's downstairs full of movies and Hot Wheels, but I don't know. I gotta like get a stable place, and it's like a stable routine and a rhythm.
Well, the cool thing about us though is we don't have stability a lot of times. I'm in Turkey, exactly. They're in Texas, my brother's here. So basically we take a shot in the dark and we just send our guests like this day, are you available? And they're like, either yes or no, or we change it to their, it's kind of, but the hardest part is, and Patrick knows this, is the people from the West Coast, man, because this is the time when the West Coast wakes up and it's 10 o'clock my time in Turkey. So I have to like, welcome to the Friendly Men. Now I'm going to be with this guy for 2 more hours and fall asleep.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. So listen, fellas, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my glass of water. I won't take too long. Jonas, talk to Dan about some of the cool guests, and welcome back to Women of March Month and Have Cheetah Will Views channel. So I'll be right back.
How did that happen again? I came over here because I thought there was going to be some Hot Wheel talk.
Continue with the Hot Wheel talk. I'll be right back.
We're live with Pat.
Thanks, Jonas.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you for having us.
So, Mr. Dan, how many Hot Wheels do you have?
I don't really. It's probably like a couple thousand.
Damn.
Yeah, and then I've got some other brands too, some Matchbox and some other brands, but I'm trying to cut back. Sometimes you can only get so many of the same exact car.
You would think that, but we watched all these movie collectors. They go out there and get like the same movies from the like 8 different boutiques.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You look at Joe the Harman. He's got his 4 or more series where he shows, if he's got something, at least 4 copies of something, he'll show like all of them. He started out with the Fog and he had 7. He has like a VHS, DVD, a special anniversary DVD, a Blu-ray, this Blu-ray. It's insane.
I'm doing lucky to do the 1 or more, series.
I've got like 2 of a few things. That's it.
Yeah.
I did buy a second copy of Halloween 2 because actually Joe the Harman is the one who told me about it. One of the special features is the whole Terror in the Isles movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the whole thing is on there as a special feature. So
nice.
That's why I got that. Yeah.
I see Mr. Bones is here saying, Dan, you interviewed Nye the other week. Yeah.
It's like I needed some laughter, so I had Nye come on. We just talked about movies and laughed for a while.
Well, that's how it goes. That's
No,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, Patrick, you can. This is your show. Why am I interrupting you on your own show, Patrick? That's not right.
I'm passing this to Mr. Dan. I'm telling you, you want to have a skilled operator running this ship.
But I will say this, Dan. So somehow on my Facebook feed, I came across Eddie Deason. I don't know how he showed up on my Facebook feed, but he did. And I know he went to prison not too long ago. He just got out. Yeah, he went to prison, and he was locked up for a while. So just out of the blue, I wasn't sure if it was him, and I said, "Hey, man, what was the one? Ghoulies 2, right? Was he in Ghoulies or Critters? Oh, Critters 2. He was in Critters 2." And I complimented him. Hey, I enjoyed Critters 2, and he did his little line to me. And then I asked him this question, Dan. You're going to be proud of me. I said,
"Oh boy,
is Grease 2 worth seeing?" And he said, "Don't watch it. It's shit." And I just imagine Eddie Deason in that nerdy voice, like, "Don't watch it. It's shit." Pat, what about you? Did you ever see Grease 2 with Michelle Pfeiffer? Right?
I saw it like once, and that was it. I know that it had I know she was in it, and I want to say Maxfield Caulfield was in it as well, but I could be wrong.
Maxwell Caulfield, yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah. That was it.
Yeah, that was, if that came on cable, you might like have it on in the background, but that was about it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
It's now it's a movie you put on when you want to get everybody out of your house.
Right.
No, Patrick, I thought that was the Star Wars Christmas special.
Oh.
Eddie Deason did do a Christmas movie. He did the Polar Express.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah.
He sure did.
Yeah.
And by the way, your guest yesterday did a performance of the Polar Express as well, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't that one. It wasn't the one. It wasn't. It was a different one, which I haven't heard of, but I'd like to see it. Yeah, we talked to Dylan von Harvey last night, and
She's a sweetheart. I really enjoyed that interview.
she is a sweetheart. She is one of the nicest people. She's such a nice person.
So
And
you kept saying to her like last minute, tell us what happened. I wanted to understand how was it last minute? Did you have someone else prepared, but they
well,
canceled?
there was just some strings that got crossed, and
Mhm.
part of it was probably me, but I wanted to have her come onto the show. So initially, it wasn't going to happen, and then at the last minute, I said, hey, I got a spot. Would you like to come over and talk? And she, at first, I didn't think she was going to be able to, because it was her husband's birthday. But her and her husband are such a cool couple. He totally believes in her, and he supports her 110%. And here it is on his birthday, and because I asked her, could you do it on a Friday? She says no, because it's her husband's birthday. Her husband says, no, you get a chance to get interviewed by somebody, please do so. And so there we go, and so she came out there and she talked to us for an hour, and we had a great time, and you could see that she's doing more and more stage work, which I was very happy to see. I think that's awesome. And then come fall, we'll have her back for a more, like for another interview, because she's going to be doing it sounds like she's got a lot coming up. So come September, October, I like to have her come back, and we'll talk about those things that will happen. But Dylan von Harvey she's just a really terrific actress and a really nice person.
Now, Dan, I just want to know, what were some of the most disappointments, actors and actresses that you met, and what were some of the best ones that you've ever met?
So some of the who that I met?
Now, who were some actors and actresses that you met who you were utterly disappointed when you met them, and then who were the ones that caught you by surprise, and they were like the coolest people that you just.
I mean, haven't really met too many, really.
Didn't you go to conventions? Don't you go to cons in your area?
I did. I did go to a convention. This was back when my dad was starting to have health problems.
Oh.
And my good friends, the Night Watch Zone, were coming here, and we were going to link up and at least meet each other. And it was a disaster. I was only able to go on Sunday for like a couple hours, so it was kind of bittersweet. I didn't have time to wait in any lines or anything like that. And I didn't even get to see my friends. But yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to doing in the future. Now I have had some really kind words on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook with some actors and directors and actresses like
Sure.
Kelly Goody, who Patrick interviewed. I was very complimentary of her and a few films. So, she sent me a couple of messages back and forth, and that was really fun. And then the director of April, Patrick, asked me to write a review of the film for IMDb. I still haven't done it yet. I feel bad because because that's such a good movie, and it's not many people know about it.
No,
I don't even know about it. Can you?
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a crime. It's like a kind of like a sex trafficking movie set in Great Britain, and it's very gritty. It's rough. It's a rough watch.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like I thought Kelly was just outstanding. She had the one scene in the movie, but that scene was the whole movie.
It was so important.
Yeah, it was absolutely critical. Yeah. And they just ruled it. And Daza King is a terrific director. Darren James King, he's a great director, and he's got such vision. You know, you when you see him, you think that he would be one of those guys that does all the tough guy British movies, but he's got a massively huge heart and a soul, and he makes some really terrific films.
Don't a lot of people like that? Like, you know, the nicest people are the ones that play like the coolest villains. Like, for example, Bill Moseley, one of the nicest
Yes.
guys.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
Bill Moseley, yeah.
like Bill Moseley is so easy to access. You can send him a message on Facebook Messenger, and most likely he'll respond within 2 or 3 hours. Like, yeah.
It's like that. Like we interviewed Bill Obrist Jr., you know, another fantastic horror icon, and sheesh, man, you know, I thought, wow, you know, this is like, you know, it for me, it's one of the biggest guests I've ever gotten. It's like it was one of those guests like you just closing your eyes and you're throwing the dart and you're hoping you hit on the outer ring, you know, when you ask him, and lo and behold, he was like, no, I'll come on there, and then he comes out there and you get excited because you got such an icon, you got such a great guest. And then you just like super, and then you just want to make sure you don't blow it, you know. And he's such an interesting guy.
Wow.
He was really fun to talk to.
Wow. See, you know what? One of my most pleasant experiences spending time with actors and actresses was Marilyn Burns from the original Texas Chainsaw. She was just the sweetest, kindest woman I've ever met. I even brought them pizza in Chicago when they came, and Marilyn was just so cheerful, like, oh, honey, what do you want? Like, she gave me free autographs. I don't really care for autographs. I don't know about you, Patrick, but autographs just sit in a drawer and just,
No,
you know, collect dust. So
Collect
I
dust,
just like, when I go to these conventions, I just like meeting people, asking them questions, having fun with them. But I brought Chicago style pizza for Caroline Williams and Marilyn Burns, and they were just the sweetest. And then I saw Marilyn a few years later in Indianapolis, a few years later, and she still remembered me. She was, James, how just, and then unfortunately she's not with us anymore. But she was just the biggest sweetheart, and I miss her. I do miss her. I really do. I think she was just she was a lovely person. So Patrick, go on, Ben.
I really enjoyed talking to Sandy Johnson. Sandy Johnson's that was an amazing talk too. Oh my gosh, she is so lovely. You know, she played the sister in the first Halloween. She played Judith Myers.
That's right, the older sister, right?
Right. The only one that whose death would be considered a slasher death. And yeah, and so I interviewed her, and what a terrific human being she is.
So now, Patrick,
I just count myself lucky when I get an interview like that. When I get an interview like that, that's just like that's catching lightning in a bottle, you know, to catch somebody like that, and you know, a legend like that, and you know, and to be able to sit there and have it permanently recorded, you know, like I did this, you know, so.
Yeah. What, Patrick, I forget, and I feel bad that I don't remember, but what is the name of Michael Baine's wife again?
Michael Biehn's wife?
Jennifer.
Jennifer Blanc.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a great interview. Yeah, that you did with her.
That was a lot of fun too.
Have you ever met Michael himself?
Yeah. Actually, actually during that interview.
Oh,
yeah.
Did he pop on?
Because it was weird because I went and I asked her for the interview. Okay. I didn't ask for him. I asked for her because she is. I mean, I love Michael Biehn. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted to talk to her because she is just a one-person promo machine. She's always promoting themselves, you know, their businesses, their appearances. She's just like out there all the time. And you know, I said, you know, I really want to talk to her about her career. And so I did. I asked her, so I want to talk to you. And so we did a pre-show, to make sure our connections were fine. And so we got out there, and we talked to Michael. He came over and said hello. And so after he left, I said to her, I said, I just want to let you know that I'm not going to ask for him to come on camera. I said, this is all about you. This is for you. I want to know about your career. And I said that to her before. Yes, I would like to talk to him about his career, but everybody's done that. And I don't think not enough have asked her. So the next day, though, we're doing the interview, and it's working out really well. It's an awesome interview. And then she has to take care of something in the kitchen. And so she turns around and she tells Michael to come in and keep me company. So he came in the middle of the interview. So we got to talk for 10, 15 minutes. And I always wanted to ask him I always wanted to tell him one thing. Like all the things he asked Michael Biehn about, the one thing I wanted to ask him about was the Magnificent Seven. And so I asked him, I said, I just want to know, like the Magnificent Seven, was like, why did it, why did it end? And he said of all the things that he's ever worked on in his whole career, he said that was the one that he would bring back. That's the one he wanted to do. He loved the show. He was so badass in that show too. It only ran for 26 episodes over 2 seasons.
Wow.
And so, that was the one thing I wanted to talk to him about was the Magnificent Seven. I was like, if I ever had a chance to talk to him, it wouldn't be Terminator. It wouldn't be, The Abyss or Aliens or any of that. It would be the Magnificent Seven, and I got to do that. So another grail crossed off the chart.
He probably really appreciated that too, because he's had those other questions a million times.
Yeah.
See, what's interesting, Pat, I have a very similar story about me and Michael Biehn. Very similar to that was I met him twice, and he goes to these conventions with his wife, actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so he was waiting for his wife to stop signing autographs at the convention. So I approached him, and we're talking, and I'm talking about Michael Bay's The Rock. Because he did a great job in that movie. That's actually my favorite Michael Bay movie is The Rock. And he plays the soldier in that. And so we're talking about Michael Bay. Jonas, where are you going?
I'll be right back.
All right.
The Jonas show we'll be right back after these commercial.
Yeah. So, I mean, but here I am just, just BSing about The Rock. And he was waiting for his wife and just wanted to get out because he's been there for a long time. But he answered all my questions and talked about what he wanted to say, and I was really thankful for that. Actually, I know other people in the past has had problems with him, but I didn't have any problems with him.
Oh God, he was a sweetheart. He came over there. I sat down there, and he answered. He talked to us for about, like I said, I didn't, when that happened, I didn't think that was going to happen at all. And then I thought he'd just be there for like a couple of minutes. But no, he sat there. It was very engaging for about 10, 15 minutes until Jennifer came back.
And then he was like, did he say nice to meet you? And then walked away?
Yeah, very, very nice. The interview, I'll send you the link to the interview. You can watch it. And
I would love to see it.
Yeah, that's a cool one. That was unexpected.
Now, okay, so Dan, you want to get into doing interviews. What are some of the people you would like to speak with? Besides Patrick and myself.
Of course. I want a 10-hour long interview with Mark, actually.
Nah. Yeah. I don't know if you might get a little bored after 10 hours.
I think what you need to do with Mark, you need to do a kitchen segment with Mark and have
We've done it.
Really? What you guys cook?
It's on the YouTube channel. Everything is done. We separated the playlist, but basically he was with Anthony's girlfriend's children, and he's making a hot pocket, and we filmed it. And we've done. See, that's the thing is, outside of the interviews, we have done a wide variety of stuff. We made like Mark be an investigator, finding weird stories. We made Mark. Make a kitchen show, Mark teaching children safety. Like we have done that. We've done those things, and they've all been pretty funny. But what we're more known for are the interviews. So that kind of stuff gets pushed aside. We would like to do more of that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to. We have to connect you guys with the Cinema Squad.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. We're up for anything. We're absolutely up for anything. So yeah. So Dan, who besides Mark, who else would you like to?
Well,
Yeah.
what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring some people together. Like before I got into, you know, I used to watch large channels that used to, you know, here are the top 10 lists of horror movies you've never seen. And I'd be like, I've seen that one, seen that one, seen that one. Those videos were entertaining, but then I found this smaller community. It's been awesome. The horror fix that I had before was mostly from the paranormal channels and the creepy story channels, which eventually started to repeat themselves quite a bit. But I still, you know, I still like some of the people in that community. And actually last night, one of my favorites, Mr. Extremes, had a stream last night. So I was listening. He's not able to be on YouTube as much as he used to be, but he's really good. He's got like a phenomenal voice. So like, for example, he's got a phenomenal voice. DeRay from Rainbow Fright has a phenomenal voice. It's amazing.
Yeah, her voice is golden.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, you know, like have an interview, get them together. And since he's into paranormal stuff, you know, I was thinking maybe if I had like some movie clips, you know, show like a quick clip. And what do you think about this? Is it legit? Is it, you know, like there was the 80s Twilight Zone, Joe Dante directed a little segment about a shadow person. And he's read many stories about shadow people. So I was like, you know, you show him a little clip from that and then say, what do you think? You know, I don't know. So
see, no, Anthony and I, welcome Anthony. Welcome to the Have Cheetah Will View. Okay, so yeah. Now, Dan, here's one thing I will recommend, and I advise, because I learned this kind of the hard way. If you're going to bring other people together, we tried it before. We got really successful, and my expectations were kind of crushed.
Okay.
And so what happened was we tried bringing other people together who do similar things, and none of them did homework on each other.
Oh, okay.
And so it was basically me in the middle, like, hey, it was cool when you did that. It was great when you did that. What about you when you did that? And so that was kind of the hard part, was trying to keep the things flowing. However, but musicians, they're just easier to talk to. Even though if they're not familiar with their music, they still have a lot of things in common. So my advice to you is make sure everyone does their homework.
Right.
You know, with this thing I'm planning in April, I'm going to find other people to join the panel with me, but I'm going to make sure that they must specifically watch 3 films before we set everything up. And I hate doing that, you know, like being the enforcer, like you have to watch this, but it's true.
But I've seen streams though where people will talk about an old show like The Outer Limits. Let's talk about The Outer Limits. And you know, they have their friends that they always stream with, and you know, some of them may have only seen an episode or 2 and have vague memories of it. So that they're basically just there because they're friends. Whereas if you're doing something like that, it would probably be good to get like an expert or a real fan on there.
I'm with you about the homework part, because sometimes you assume, and that can get you in trouble. You know, like I had a guest on the Midnight Hour, and I was really excited for it. I was like, holy shit, you know, this is gonna be awesome. He's like the preeminent voice in kaiju, and so I invited all the guys who did kaiju movies. I invited them on as a panel, and because we're gonna interview them all together. I didn't do my homework. My buddy, the guy who I was interviewing, he had done his own conventions. He had been a guest on conventions, and I assumed he knew how to work a panel. I could not have been more wrong. I could not have been. It was awful. He was really nervous. He way over talked. He never made eye contact with the camera. It was just
Oh.
it was really it was it was like, yes, he had great answers, but he didn't it was like you've interviewed people before. You get in there, you ask your questions, you get the hell out and let them talk. But then you let them have their say, and then they come back and you get another question. But he just got out there and just ran and ran and ran, and it's like nobody got to really say anything. And it was just like, oh, it was just not it was a learning moment. It was a learning moment.
100%. So, hey, Ann, how about it, man? We made it 2 times on Women of March month on Have Cheetah Will View.
Women of Horror.
Women of horror.
Yeah, me and James are representing Women of Horror.
Yeah. We both have long
we have long
lavishing
hair.
hair.
We got that. Yes.
Yeah, I love it. See, Pat, this cracks me up. I love it how Echo says, "Sorry, I'm late." Like, Echo, it's 10:30 p.m. my time in Turkey. All right, I know you're a vampire. You just woke up from your coffin in your basement with your Star Trek Enterprise toy model above you. So, yeah. Hey, Ant, isn't it exciting to see the cheetah on the stream?
There it is, the cheetah.
All right, so Ann, check this out. So Dan,
I thought I was talking to an actual cat. It was weird.
No, that's the cheetah.
Yeah, I was like, man, oh wow.
yeah. So
Amazing.
Dan, and check this out. Check out this triple feature. Dan watched. Dan, can you show the poster? He watched all these movies in one day in Pennsylvania.
Creepshow, Christine, and The Shining. Oh man.
We actually couldn't stay for The Shining, but
Yeah.
we took our box lunch and we had to drive home. So
And they watched it at the original theater where they filmed The Blob.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, there you go, Patrick. That's what I want to ask you, Patrick. Which one's better, the Steve McQueen Blob or the Shannon Tweedy remake Blob?
I mean, you know what? Effects wise, the remake. But it's still fun watching Steve McQueen do a creature feature.
Yep.
wasn't he?
I'm remake. I love the remake because it's got Shawnee Smith. I love Shawnee.
Yeah. Shawnee Smith. That's right. Not and Kevin
Shawnee Smith
Dillon.
from Becker.
Yeah, Shawnee Smith's coming. She's been off for a while, and then I guess she's starting to ramp it up again.
Yeah. And Kevin Dillon, the long lost Dillon brother that people forget about.
Yeah.
Right.
People forgot
My
about
whole
all
thing
of them.
with him, like, okay, he's like the tough guy. He rides a motorcycle. He's got a leather jacket on, fine. He's got long hair. He's wearing a white shirt with a collar under it. I was like, what? What is that? You're supposed to be wearing a shirt, a heavy metal shirt, or like a Grease Monkey shirt or something. What was the deal with that? I did not get that at all.
No. Okay, so Dan, back to what we were saying earlier. Now that we have 2 people with this, Patrick, I want to ask you: when you watch like modern movies and the whole towns are a bunch of just assholes, does that bother you when you watch movies and like everyone's a dick?
Oh, like
Halloween ends, Halloween kills, the whole town are just assholes to everybody, and there's no.
Yeah. That's
You know what?
that's
I'll
a bit
be
of
right back. Hold on.
Go ahead, Dan.
that's a bit of a cliche, isn't it?
I am so tired of that. I am.
Well, 'cause
so
you can't feel empathy for the characters. You're just like, oh, he's an asshole. He got killed. Okay, cool. On to the next asshole.
Yeah.
You don't care about it.
Yep.
I think that, to me, to make a horror movie successful, you gotta establish empathy for the characters.
Sure.
It's the only way a horror movie works is that when you make all your characters unlikable, nobody cares. Nobody cares about anything. You don't care about the killer. You don't care about the victims. You don't care about the everything. It's like there's nothing for you to relate to.
The
Right.
Child's Play remake was oh my god! I wasn't even having fun watching it because all the
I didn't
characters
mind
were
it.
dicks.
I did not mind it.
But everyone's a dick. The mother was like a freaking like, hey, what are you doing? And
Well, I
it's
do.
just
I have a big crush on Aubrey Plaza, so that helped.
Aubrey Plaza is cute.
Yeah. So that helped me get through that movie, but I didn't mind it. But I don't know. It's I didn't like how they modernized it, where it's like the doll could take care of, like, take over the home security system and all that.
But think about the original one, how you actually cared for the mom. You know what I mean? Like you actually cared for her. You cared about Andy.
Who doesn't care?
Go ahead.
Who didn't have a crush? Who didn't have a crush on Catherine Hicks? She was amazing.
And she did an amazing job. And then I watched the remake, and everyone's just assholes, and it's a really shitty world and dark and depressing. And I just don't want to be there.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Now, I ran downstairs to get this. Turned out it was right here. This movie, And Then You Die.
Whoa.
The cover. The cover has nothing to do with the movie. The whole point of the movie is that the whole town is an asshole to this guy, and then he snaps. So if you're going to go that route, I mean, go all the way. And like, this guy starts out like having like a bad day. His wife's cheating on him with his best friend. His car breaks down. His boss is like, "You don't get here soon, you're fired." The tow truck driver's an asshole. The cops become an asshole. A random guy wearing a shirt with a middle finger. What? I mean, and then when he snaps, there's like a long list for him to get the revenge. So I thought this was like almost like a clever tweak on that. You know what I mean? That whole thing. But,
yeah. But that scene, I think Dan, that sounds like that was intentional.
Oh yeah.
But like when Jamie Lee Curtis goes to like the supermarket and she's just having a normal conversation, then the woman's like, "It's because of you're the sister that."
Dan, what's the name of that movie again? I want to write it down.
And Then You Die.
And Then You Die. What year did it come out?
This is 2013. This is directed by Daniel Murphy. He's originally from Great Britain. He lives in I think he lives in Illinois now.
That's where we're from.
Yeah.
I connected with him on YouTube and everything, and one of the actresses, they were, we had a nice little back and forth.
Cool. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Cool guy. Yeah, it's a fun movie.
I love revenge movies.
Do you have a list of people that you have lined up that you're going to interview yet, Dan? It sounds like you have a. Sounds like you have.
Really.
Oh.
Not really. No, I'm still trying to get like a routine down.
Sure.
I mean, first I want to have some of my fellow YouTubers, come hang out with me and
yes, yeah,
get warmed up that way.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Dan, anytime you're here, you're more than welcome to join us.
Oh, thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Patrick. I'm sorry to cut you. God damn it! I did it again on Have Cheetah Will Views channel. I can't believe it.
What?
And it's Women of Horror Month.
Yeah, Women of Horror Month.
Yeah, Women Horror Month. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So far, so good.
Yeah. Now, Patrick, what about you? Now, are there everyone that you've interviewed is someone you would like to talk to? But what are some of like the big people that you are just trying their best? Like you are going out of your way to even find their agent. Have you ever find people's agents before?
Well, no. And the reason why is because when you find agents or managers, you'll end up paying money. There's one very well known actress who I won't name, but I know that I reached out to them, and I've actually been talking to them for a long time. And and I finally went up to him. I said, "Would you consider doing an interview?" And this person was going to charge me $250 for 20 minutes.
Oh my god! Oh.
Yeah.
God, I hope Mark gets famous so we can do that.
Right. That's like prostitution doesn't even cost that much money, I don't think.
Yeah. $250 for 20 minutes. I was like, yeah, that's just so. So anytime you hear someone say, another person who I known for years, and I asked, and they said, they didn't quote a price, but they said you'll have to talk to my PR person, and I know right then and there that's money. They don't work for nothing. So.
Well, that's great. Well, hey, Patrick, we're going to watch the first ever live interview with Mr. Dan of Horror and Ant from Ant Reviews Things. Here we go. So, hey, Ant, go ahead, Mr. Dan, please.
What kind of car is that behind you, Ant?
That is a Nissan Versa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my background. Yes.
Dan, you are on the road to greatness right now. You know?
Yeah.
Like, those are the hard-hitting
You know what?
punches.
I'm stopping this right now. I'm gonna go get some pen and some paper. I'm taking notes.
1-2, Patrick. 1-2. So, hey, Pat. Now, here's another question for you, Patrick. Do you still keep in touch with the people? Because you've interviewed a lot more than us. Do you still like send messages to everyone that you've interviewed just to check up on them? Like, hey, hope all is well. How you doing?
Yep, I still do that. Yeah, I've actually become friends with several of the people I've talked with, and so yeah, I do stay in touch with them. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Now, all right. So, Ant, you want to ask Dan, Mr. Dan, some questions? Go ahead.
I
Ant.
like your clutch shirt.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, me too. I saw
Yeah.
that too. I'm like, hell yeah.
I love
Your
Clutch.
band. Well,
I
what's
said
your
my,
favorite band?
Time to take out my pen and paper.
Probably Iron Maiden.
Ah,
Yeah, I love Iron Maiden. We
Not a bad
did you-
answer.
Did you watch my interview with David D?
no.
Oh man, you got to watch that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dave D, he ended up becoming a huge promoter, but when he first started out in his career, that's how that was his claim to fame is he booked Iron Maiden before they were before they were any just
Oh,
right when they started out.
yeah.
Yeah, he had one of those stories. He booked Iron Maiden at a small town in Dundee, Scotland, and he booked a show with them, and that launched his career.
James,
Now
didn't
he's a
James-
manager of Placebo, and he books all the big concerts. He books them all in the Southeast Asia.
Really quick, James,
Yeah.
who was the guy? Your mother told me a story. There's a guy, and I want to say he was like from Iron Maiden or something. He came to town and you drove him
Yep.
around.
Yep.
Who was
yeah,
that?
I met two of the singers from Iron Maiden, except for Bruce. I spent time with them.
And he drove him around. He
I
drove him
drove
around Chicago.
Paul Diano. I drove Paul Diano. Actually, oh my God, that was one of the best nights of my life, spending time with Paul Diano. Dan, here I am. My friend booked his tour. It was his American tour back in 2010 or 2009. So I actually just happened to be unemployed at the time. So my friend Holly called me from California and she said, "Hey, James, Paul's going to be coming to Chicago. Can you pick him up?" And I'm like, "Can I pick him up?" Like, of course I can. And so I was able to get Ants and my friend's band to open up for him for 2 nights. Two nights. So when the first night he played Chicago, I didn't meet him, but I met his touring band and I met his manager. So then we became accustomed with each other. So then we drove 4 hours in the middle of nowhere in Illinois, south of Illinois, and he was going to play a small bar. And so I know his crew. Like I know his crew. I didn't meet Paul yet, but I know his crew. So we're all talking like, "Hey, good to see you, man. You know, it's been a long time. How was your trip? How was this? You know, blah, blah, blah." So the promoter of the club came up to us and said, "Who's going to get Paul?" And they looked at me and they're like, "James, you're going to go drive down the street." And then the band that I was with, I didn't sing with them, but I was with them. They gave me the key to the van and they said, "Get us a hotel room." So I went back to the hotel by myself. And here's the thing. I drove back his American van and we're in the parking lot for 10 minutes because I couldn't understand how the freaking thing worked. I kept turning on the windshield wipers. And I'm like, "How does this work?" And he's like, "Charge it here, put it here." And his manager was from Britain, so he was cool. And so basically, I had to wait at the hotel room for 2 hours. I missed all the opening bands. It was great. I was watching King of the Hill in a hotel waiting for Paul Diano of Iron Maiden. And then I got the manager's phone number, so I called him, and he says Paulie. He calls him Paulie. And he goes, "Hey, James, he's in 104. Paulie will be ready in 15 minutes." I'm like, "All right, I saw him the night before. I know what he looks like. I know everything." So here I am, and I'm in this van. I found his hotel room, and I parked right in front of it. Comes out with the cane. And I open up the door, and here I am, Jason Statham transporter style, like, Mr. Diano, I'm here to take you to your show. And he's like, hey, mate, how you doing? Great, how to see you. He's smoking this big cigar, like this really big cigar. And this is a rental van too, Dan. So it says, do not smoke in the van. And I said, and it's a cold night. I'm like, Paul, do you want to smoke in the van? He's like, he looks at me. He's like, are you sure, buddy? I'm like, yeah, just come on inside. I'm not going to let them.
Tell Patrick and Dan the story. You guys have obviously seen the movie American Movie.
Yeah.
James has hung out with Mike and Mark.
We're personal friends.
They stayed at his mom's house in Warrenville, Illinois.
Wow.
Yeah. We went to parties together. I drove him to parties in Illinois. We hung out. I made him make money. And unfortunately, Mike just passed away not too long ago, but I still have my last voicemail he sent me.
Wait a minute, Mike was his friend.
Mike Shank, his friend who passed away.
Because he was getting bit parts in movies for a while there.
Mark is still getting bit parts in movies. It was Mike who passed away.
Okay, yeah, but I used to see Mike in movies.
Yeah, they were American. They were in was it Family Guy, and they were wonderful people. So, but I still have his last video that he sent me before he passed. I'm not getting rid of it. I still have it. Yeah. And he says, "Hi, James. Cancer was taking over him." And So Paul was just awesome. I spent 6 hours with him, and here I am. And then when I moved to Turkey 5 years ago, Blaze Bailey came to my came to my town. So I went twice to go meet him and got his autograph. The only singer I have not met is Bruce.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Yeah. I'm sorry to
saw in 2019 they were doing Legends of the Beast tour
with Ghost, right? Wasn't it with Ghost?
No, when I saw them, Steve's son's band.
Steve's daughter's band, right? It's like his daughter.
No, it was his son. His son plays guitar. His daughter sings too. And it's the name is slipping my mind right now. But they were the opening act.
Of course.
I had just gotten like a commission at work, and they, simultaneously, it was like Iron Maiden's going on tour. So I said to my kids, I said, "Are you guys interested in this?" And they did it for me. 7 of us went.
Wow.
My kids and 6 of us. Let me do some math here. 6 of us went. My kids and my son-in-law, and myself, and in New York City. And they were living up there at the time. So I just happened to be looking the night before in Asbury Park, which is in Central Jersey, famous town for music, at the Stone Pony. Clutch was playing. So I said to my son, we're going to have the best weekend ever. we're going to have the best weekend ever. So we saw Clutch and Killswitch Engage. And All That Remains the night before. And then we drove up for the concert the next night. The funny thing is we got there so early. It was only about 98 degrees out. I had to be the first one there at Asbury Park, sun beating down. And we walk in there, there's nobody around. So to warm up everyone, they started playing Iron Maiden, which I thought was pretty funny.
You're
over the speakers,
Yeah.
But, that was a great weekend.
Now I can't talk about it because it's in our future interview, but I cannot, in our future interview, we got some good stories of the next guest. We actually interviewed Johnny Kelly of Typo Negative.
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about that. But.
Well, I decided to change that and let it out, but But we're going to promote it soon. We're going to edit it. It should be out hopefully by the end of the month or something. But he tells us some wonderful stories about playing certain music in concerts, and I was laughing hysterically. So Cheers to the Dragon is really good, Echo. I agree.
Yeah, I need to go back and listen to some of that again. I sometimes I forget about the solo.
Yeah. Blaze's solo stuff is really good, actually. Blaze is really good.
I like Blaze. Yeah.
You know what? He is easy to get a hold of.
Yeah.
He's super easy to get a hold of. Just send him a message on Facebook Messenger and he'll respond. He's that kind of dude. Mm-hmm. Something you might want to think about. Patrick, what about you? Who were some of the biggest asshole music? Oh no, you already answered that question before.
Yeah.
I remember. And what about you? Do you have a question for Patrick for his Woman of March month? That's a great question. I agree. All right, Patrick.
I think he's got Women of Horror month covered. As you see, there's 3 dudes on the panel, along with
but 2 of us.
We got all the bases
hair.
covered here. Go women, go March.
So, Pat, what do you have coming up?
Let's see. Well, Monday we have Emily Whitcomb will be up, and then Tuesday Becky Rue will be with us. Wednesday will be Audrey Neal. And oh boy, I'm away from my desk. That's through all, those are 3 coming up right away. And then we got more coming up. I got still booking even as I'm talking. I've still got 4 or 5 holes to fill up, and hopefully I can do that by beginning of the week. It's hard. Women in Horror is the hardest month to book. I keep saying that, but it's true. It's the hardest. It's the hardest one.
Why do you think that is?
I think there's a couple of things. I think the biggest thing is I think March is actually the launch month for shooting season. You know what I'm saying? I think for and also too, a lot of folks are getting ready for convention season, so it's between the shoots and the conventions, it's just it's the hardest month for them to get a hold of. I think if I would have did it in February, it would probably be a lot easier. But March, I just think that a lot of productions are just kicking off, and I had to lose one guest because that's what happened. They got picked and they started pre-production for a new movie right away. That happens a lot, actually. If you go to conventions and you see such and such guest is not here, because of scheduling difficulties, that's what it is. It's a lot of times an actor or actress will get a last minute call for a project and you got to let them go and try to reschedule. Yeah.
So, hey, and here's Patrick. I have an idea for you for one of your themes of your months. Okay, you don't have to do it, Patrick.
Echo just said he's got his movies from Hamilton book. Have you ever shopped Hamilton book yet, Ant?
No, I never heard of it.
Oh my.
Maybe half-price books.
Yeah. I think Hamilton has better prices for movies than half price books. And so I just got mine too, Echo. I got my package from Hamilton. I got to do a video on it today.
It's an online thing, or
it's a brick and mortar store. You've done Hamilton book, Dan, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I've got
you got tons
I've
there.
got an order coming. I've got some 3 seasons of the Twilight Zone coming on Blu-ray for like $5.95 each. I got like this whole, what is this? Season 2, Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, Echo owns that. I'm sure Echo owns it.
It was like $8.
Was that really?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
If you want to get a whole series, it might take a while because they'll have like season 2, season 4, but
it's a start.
Yeah, it's a start. I mean, you can really.
I didn't know they were carrying that. I'll have to go take a look at that today.
Yeah, they might still have it.
Oh, yeah. I went shopping for the same thing you did. I think I don't know about Echo, but I went and got the same thing you did. I went and got I went to get the 3 Twilight Zones.
Yeah.
Because Jonathan from Platex 2, he mentioned it, and then I go like, okay, I'm going to go in and get those 3, and then they're all sold out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Kenny on Instagram and YouTube, Patrick.
Yes, Kenny Jones.
Yeah, Kenny Jones. He lives near me. He always like gives me tips when something goes on sale.
Yes, that's exactly how I learned. Gosh, that's a small ass world. It's a small ass world.
I just saw you commented on one of his videos. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
Yeah, he's a really nice
super nice guy. And not only that, but he's an ISC fan.
Oh,
yeah. That's right.
Oh, wow. Right. So, hey, Patrick, here's my idea for a themed month, Have Cheetah Will View month-a-thon. Are you ready for it?
Okay.
All right. I think you should do May should be the month of Jonas, where you just interview Jonas every day for 30 days.
That's just boring after day number 2.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? You know what's funny? As I actually, I know you're saying that as a joke, but you know what? That's actually a really good idea for you guys. You should. No, hold on, and I'm being serious about this. You guys go ahead and get your collective together, and then each day you ask each other one question, and then you post it up as a 3 or 5 minute little blurb. Get to know the friendly. Get to know the friendly man.
That's not a bad idea.
No.
I would love to interview Jonas for 30 days. Like, ladies and gentlemen, guess who's back? It's Jonas.
We talk to him like every day.
Yeah, but I'm saying like Monday would be Ask James Day. So all the rest of the collective get to ask you one question, and then you answer it. The next day is Jonas's turn, then Mark's turn, and then Ant's
That's a good
turn.
idea. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Wow. Pat,
Yep.
see, look at that, Anthony. I threw an idea at him. He threw it right back at me.
Write it down on your piece of paper, James.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I got my notes on my iMac. I can write that down. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really because see we don't have a lot of collectives. We had the midnight hour. But I mean, as far as collectives go, like how there's Ant and then you and then and Mark and Jonas.
Echo,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you asked Echo to join the Friendly Man, I'm sure he would do it.
Oh yeah, we love Echo. We love him, and we always joke. I think Anthony and I went on 2 of his streams this week, or 3 of them, right?
Yeah. I pop up and I'll be like, "Hey guys," and they'll be like, "Join us," and I'm like, "Okay."
And that's morning my time, so I drink my tea, and my energy level is really high in the morning. So I'm like good to go. I mean, this is almost my bedtime here. I have to watch 90 Day Fiance in a little
Wait a
bit.
minute, isn't Turkish coffee supposed to be like some of the best coffee in the world?
Turkish coffee, Turkish tea is also very popular here.
Okay.
It's a tea and coffee country. It's
Okay.
both.
Okay.
And I've met a lot of Turkish people who either like one or they like the other or like both. I am a both kind of guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's really good. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that, Anthony. I can't join. It might be against my contract. Yeah. I mean, this is go ahead, Pat. Oh man.
I was just gonna ask Mr. Dan. I said, when's the last time you were with the on a night show?
Night Watch last time was probably, I think it was it's been a little while now. I think it was the Tourist Trap episode.
Oh wow, that's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. It may have been one more after that, but yeah, he knew that was like one of my favorite movies and instrumental movie into getting me into horror. So
My wife
yeah,
owns
come
that
on for that
movie.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, hey, Dan, you do realize that Anthony does do theme songs, and he will write you a Mr. Dan theme song by just his mouth while holding a dog.
No, that's Mark does that.
But you can do it too.
Well, I'll write the words for
Hey
Mark.
guys, look who's back for 30 days
Hey.
of Jonas. Yeah.
They're
Jonas,
still
welcome
on, man.
to
Y'all are
Women of
crazy.
Horror Month.
No, Jonas
Happy
of
March.
Horror Month. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe the guests we have. Can you imagine the lineup, Anthony? It's like March 1st, Jonas. March 2nd, Jonas. March 3rd, Jonas. March 4th.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it's been lately. That's
It
what
should be
feels
like Jonas July or Jonas June.
Yeah.
June
Yeah,
with Jonas, July with
Hey,
Jonas.
Hey, my
July-
birthday's in
July
June.
for Jonas. July for Jonas.
We missed January.
My birthday's
Go
in
ahead.
June.
There we go.
June of
June
Jonas.
of Jonas. The
June
summer
of
So
of
Jonas.
where's this joke coming from though? Did I miss something?
Yeah, you missed it.
Oh man.
You'll find
I
out in
threw-
June.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it's all right. I'll explain, Jonas. So I threw an idea at Patrick because Patrick always builds up all his guests, and it would just be funny for Patrick to just be like, hey, everyone, we're gonna have a great month. We have On May 1st, we have Jonas. He's coming live with us. On May 2nd, we will also be having Jonas.
The entire
May 3rd,
month.
yeah, it's just all Jonas.
But
But
I
then
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I do
go
think you should do what I suggested though. I think that's a really good idea for you
ahead. I
guys.
think it's a
It is. It
fantastic
really
idea.
is. Yeah, Patrick said that we do a thing like for the month where with our collective, like we focus on each of us a different day. So like one day it'll be just James, where like me, Jonas, Ben, Mark, whoever's involved, ask James a question, and then and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
Now,
not a bad idea.
Patrick, what about Handsome Men Month? Do you have that down?
That's Jonas month.
No,
That's
no,
all
That's
Jonas.
just Jonas month. Damn it.
I only have 2 theme months. I have Women in Horror Month, and then I have Creators Month, and that's in May.
And nothing, no handsome men month. It's just
No,
Jonas.
no, unfortunately, no Handsome Men Month.
Hunks month.
No, honestly, I'm sure that someone who's listening to this might take that idea and run with it, and that is our good friend V. She might do something
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we would do it. We would do it. We would
Yeah.
do it.
V would do it.
Now, Patrick, I want to. Speaking of V in Canada right now and Canadian bacon, but when that band Bare Naked Ladies came out, I really did believe that the singer was Drew Carey.
No, he
I was
no,
laughing.
no.
That-
Worked with Bare-
I
did a
believed
show-
it.
No, I did a show with Bare Naked Ladies, and super nice
There was-
guys, very
There
nice
were no
guys.
naked ladies at that show, right?
I actually
No,
thought
no.
about you. I thought
Yeah.
about you yesterday, James, when I was at the grocery store. They're actually playing Bare Naked Ladies on the radio.
Dude, Bare Naked
Score.
Ladies is back. Dude, someone sent me an advertisement. They're playing Illinois. They're going on tour again. Like,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
sent that to you. They're
This was-
opening for Hootie and the Blowfish.
this is all
Yeah.
a joke, but it's just like coming back at me. That's like
It's Hootie and the
Dan's-
Blowfish, Bare Naked Ladies, and who's the third band? It's one of them other
who
bands.
cares? It's probably some other band that no one cared about since '95.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah, it's like something like that. Yeah, it is.
What a lineup.
So Dan, Dan, what are some of the worst eras in music in your opinion? Is it the
Worst-
80s, the 90s, or early 2000s?
Yeah. Who did that? Like, hey, now you're a rock star. Is that
That's
Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth.
I just right before you said that, I was thinking about that because I went grocery shopping once. I like to be there when they open at 7, so I go in there, and they're playing "Man on a Silver Mountain" by Rainbow.
That's
Okay?
badass.
It's such a badass song, and Patrick knows I love Ronnie James Dio, right? So
Who
doesn't?
And it got about, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And it got about 3/4 of the way through it, and I just, in my mind, I'm pretty sure, I'm about 99% sure, a manager was like running over and stopped it, and then all of a sudden it was like in mid song, hey, now you're a rock star.
Oh, man.
No,
I was like, no,
I want to talk to the manager.
right?
Yeah.
Man, I think can you imagine like if you were in a relationship, you would buy tickets and then you would break up in your relationship at that concert. Like, I'm sorry, we can't be together. I can't stand this band. This is not going to work out. Yeah, I see Jonas has a girlfriend. Anthony has a girlfriend. So I imagine if Jonas's girlfriend's like, I have something secret for you. 2 tickets to Smash Mouth. Jonas is like,
That's something she
No.
would do on purpose.
okay. How would you handle that situation? You have to sit through 90 minutes of, hey man, you're a rock
Wait a
star.
minute, wait a minute. Are you wasting all your questions for Jonas? I thought you were gonna-
Oh my God, June of
It's not even June.
Damn. All right, Patrick, can I just ask him one question? Okay. Yeah, how would you handle yourself if your girlfriend did that to you, Jonas?
I would laugh really hard, and I would tell everybody about it.
I went
And
to a
then-
Smash Mouth concert.
And then I would go. I'd be down to go. But, as long as I have beer.
Lots of beer.
Chances are the singer for Smash Mouth would be like, blackout drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that'd be fun. I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Dan, you're saying the late '90s, mid
Yeah.
'90s.
Yeah, I wasn't really into music that much
And
at all back then.
Savage Garden, stuff like that.
Yeah, oh boy.
You talking about like the ska music of like the mid late 90s?
Ugh.
Just
That-
all the
that I
radio
can't
music
stand.
at that time.
I,
was Chamba Wamba.
Oh, man.
Jumbo Wubba.
See, yeah. Now, Patrick, when you worked at the venue at the club in California, did you have like a legit playlist? Like, are you like, all right, guys, today is Chumbawamba Day, you know? Like, you play
Oh.
Chumbawamba.
No, we had a radio go on. We generally played commercial radio, and it went downstairs because people would come in and buy tickets for events. So we would have because we had regular office hours, but inside our office, we would play music that we would want. Me and Jimmy would alternate what we played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So now you never so like during a concert, like during like a Slayer show, you never played like Hootie and the Blowfish in the loudspeakers between bands.
At the end of the night, and every club does this. At the end of the night, a lot of dance nights and stuff like that, or concerts. We would play for us. The exit music we would play would be Frank Sinatra.
Oh, okay. No Carpenters, no.
No, we played Frank Sinatra, and
I loved it. Like a few shows, like when I would play in bands, we got to like come out to music. Like, what music do you want to come out to? And I remember when I played in a band called no, it was when I was in the Diabolics when we played at Riley's Rock House. It was at Riley's Rock House.
Small
And
bar.
before
Yeah.
we took the stage, we made them play "So Fresh and So Clean" by Outkast. As we took the stage, and we're coming out in makeup, fake blood, everything, and Outkast is playing. It just threw people through a loop, and we're like dancing around to it and shit. Yeah, people didn't know what to think.
Yeah. I would,
Echo saying that there's not enough beer to enjoy at a Smash Mouth show.
Yeah,
That's
really
exactly
is.
right. And that's why I would be drunk.
Yeah.
Not enough beer. Never enough.
yeah, Dan, what a great answer. Because that 90s, oh my God, that was the boy band, the height of the boy band
Oh,
era. I mean, like, now early 90s just had the one big one, New Kids on the Block and then Boys to Men, but that was it. But that early 2000s, every minute, there was a new boy band. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, blah, 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 blah.
It just got worse.
Cookie
Oh,
cutter.
dude.
Got
Yeah,
worse
you
with
know,
time.
Here's the thing. My
Now, Dan,
My
remember
voice-
what you said? Go ahead.
my wife's from Hong Kong, so my daughters would listen to like the Hong Kong versions of boy bands too. So we had like double.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we had like the international boy bands.
Yeah,
Well, K-pop is really hot right now.
Yeah, K-pop is huge.
Yeah, BTS. That's my girlfriend is Asian, and her sister thinks she's Korean, and just listens to all K-pop.
Just a
Like-
K-pop.
But
Yeah,
okay, so
It's
I
terrible.
went to over 2008. I went to South Korea to teach English for a summer, and then I went back the next 2 summers because heaven forbid they don't go to school all year round.
Right.
Yeah. So I went to teach English in the summer, and the first year it was a new English school, and they wanted to attract a lot of people and like a wealthy clientele, So they had a K-pop star there. The funny thing is, I was asking some of the middle school and high school age girls, and they were like, she's old news. She's from like 2 years ago, They were just they were very unimpressed with her, whoever that was.
Yeah. Dan, that's really funny. I had a student in Turkey who went to South Korea, and I'm like, what did you do? She's like, I saw Gangnam Style live. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I went to the concert. And I'm like, so did he just play one song? And she's
Yeah,
like,
right.
no, he's got 2 other ones. And so, yeah. And and I completely forgot about Gangnam Style. I completely forgot about it. Now, Jonas, you were in high school when Gangnam Style came out. Were the kids in your high school trying to copy the Gangnam
Oh my
Style?
god, dude, that was just a very cringy time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just you have no idea.
I was happy for that guy though. You got to think about it. Psy, his name, they call himself Psy.
Mhm.
I mean, it was a cool song, cool jam. International. I mean, it was all right. He came out. He got to come over to the States.
I'm sure he's a cool dude too. I mean,
Yeah.
he seems cool.
Yeah, he
But
seemed really
it's-
down to earth, and all the interviews I saw him in, he seemed really down to earth. I mean, because K-pop is, I mean, their fans are like the Beatles fans were in the '60s.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean it's the trendy. It's not the guy himself, but it was really the trendy kind of fan base that created that became very very obnoxious. And then when the song is overplayed,
Ugh.
and then
Yeah.
And Dan, this young gentleman, he's 22 years old. So that was when the booming of TikTok and Instagram. So poor Jonas had to watch the kids in the hallway making videos of the Gangnam Style dance. Like, my heart goes out. Jonas, Anthony and I are very lucky. We didn't have cell phones in high school, so there's none of that ridiculous stuff. And
Yeah.
Jonas, I feel sorry for you.
it's okay. I'm better now.
And I think we need like a Jonas segment, like minutes with Jonas.
Feeling bad for Jonas.
Feeling bad for
Just-
Jonas.
Feeling,
yeah,
feeling
yeah,
bad for
all
the
the
younger
moments.
generation.
Yeah.
Play some soft, sappy music in the background with a lot of piano. It's like, it was 2012. I was in science class, and Brittany in front of me turned to me, and she asked me how my day was, and I noticed something. She was opening up her TikTok and showing me some videos. I don't know.
I don't think TikTok existed when I was in high school.
Instagram did though, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything
So
else
how-
did, but not. I don't think TikTok.
So now,
That'd
Dan,
be
you
worse.
said you have kids. Are they younger like Jonas? Or you're
No, my youngest one is the college age. He's 19.
You-
So he's a freshman this year in college.
Oh, so your son had to deal with the TikTok era too, the
Yeah,
Instagram
he's-
selfie TikTok era.
Yeah. He was more into playing video games online than that kind of thing. Really though. Yeah. So
I'm sorry, Dan.
yeah.
It's
It's a good
now,
kid
what about,
though. I mean,
Yeah.
he did his thing, So
what about your daughter? What about your daughter?
well, I got 2 boys, 2 daughters.
Dan, you got a military family, huh? Wow.
So I got, and then my daughter is, I have 1 grandchild, and then I've got another one coming this month. So
Oh, Grandpa
So,
Dan, huh? Wow.
the two,
Coolest grandpa.
yeah,
Absolutely.
try to be, the 2 girls live in Philadelphia, and then my son, actually, speaking of video games, he works for Activision Blizzard. He works from home, but he just wanted to try out LA, so he moved to LA a while ago. So
That's
he was-
badass.
Yeah.
Jonas, did you work for Activision in your 19?
I was a plumber.
Oh, you were. Oh, yeah.
You're still that's
Yeah.
impressive when you're 19. You're a plumber.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I had to deal with being like 20 years younger than everybody I worked with. So that was fun.
But
But
you
you know
probably
what?
weren't playing Smash Mouth with those guys, right?
No, No.
They were probably listening to like Garth Brooks and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, from
Yeah,
Texas.
Jonas does live in Texas.
yeah. Well,
So what? All right, so that's Patrick. I'm sorry. This is my second question to Jonas. Jonas, what did the older plumbers listen to while on the job?
well,
Smash Mouth.
country music or metal. So that and that was fine with me. The metal was cool, but for the most part, they didn't really listen to music. They just kind of just had whatever the radio was playing, and wasn't really about music, except for one guy who was like a death metal guy like you. He listened
That's
to all
badass.
that stuff, so he was cool, and he's actually like one of my good friends. So
If I'm gonna clean some shit, I'm gonna listen to some awesome fucking death metal.
oh yeah, dude. No, like we'd get out of a job and he'd just be like putting on like
Deicide, Cannibal Corpse, stuff like that.
yeah, like all sorts of
Devourment.
bands, Behemoth. He liked black metal and death metal and doom
Sounds like my
and all
kinda
that
guy.
stuff. And yeah, cool dude.
Oh, I got a question for Patrick right quick. Yo,
Hey, this
Patrick.
is his show. You can't ask him
Yeah.
questions. He asked the questions.
Well, it
Yeah.
is the Women of Horror Month. Damn it.
We need to dress up as women and for an upcoming
All right.
stream.
Go ahead,
Oh.
Ant.
Patrick, how much snow did you guys get?
Last night I think it looked about 5 inches, 5-6 inches. We got hit pretty good.
We
Yeah,
got
That's
zero.
what she said.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we got zero. We were in the same boat as you. It was going to be 1 to 6 inches, whatever. And it went from 86% chance of snow. And then I look at my phone again and it's 0%. So yeah, we got no snow. The kids
Wow.
wanted to go out and play in the snow. I got all these sleds. I have in my garage, I've got 5 sleds. And we've never used them since I moved back to Chicago. I'm taking my sleds with me so I can use them in Chicago. Since I moved back here, we've gone sledding once.
Wow.
Because usually when it snows,
We got hit.
yeah, see, it missed us. It missed us completely.
And what about Dan? He's from Pennsylvania. He's East Coast, man.
Well,
Ask
I'm
him.
Yeah, I thought the way that snowstorm was going, it was going mainly through Midwest.
Go ahead,
Yeah, I
Dan.
thought so too.
I'm actually in
I
New Jersey,
Oh, Jersey. Did you get hit with any snow?
right across the river. Like my kid from Philadelphia. I'm like 20 minutes from Philly.
So did you? All right. So now, how close are you to the Rocky Balboa statue?
So,
That's in Philly.
with traffic, probably like half hour. But
He lives in Philly, dingus.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, yeah. Did you live in Jill? Oh my God! How can?
I
You're
thought
embarrassing.
he was by Philly, you dummy.
No,
Yeah, bye,
you
Phil.
did. Yeah, you just came. I was with Dan 2 hours ago.
Well, yeah, I was
learned so much
sleeping.
about him. Yeah, I learned so much about him in 2 hours. He's got grandkids. He's got cool kids. He's a cool grandfather, and he lives 30 minutes away from the Rocky statue. That's all I need to know.
That's right.
I've been to the Rocky statue. James, have you been to the Rocky statue?
I've seen it on people's Instagrams. Okay,
Okay, good enough. Good enough.
maybe I'll Photoshop it in the background. You know,
You're
like
standing
Joe.
next to-
Something you would do. You'd Photoshop Mark's face on the statue.
It'll be Mark on the statue.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
Some kids'
hey,
music.
yeah. Hey guys, you know what? I am overseas. It's 11:15. I'm gonna get off here and I'm watching 90 Day Fiance. So, you guys have been great, Mr. Dan. Great to finally meet you. Please welcome
Yeah.
back. You are
Thank
welcome
you.
back on the Have Cheetah Will View show anytime you want. You know, we promote Patrick as this is the brother channel of Have Cheetah Will View.
Patrick's
That's right.
like our uncle.
Yeah.
He's like the
Yeah.
uncle of the friendly men.
So
Uncle Pat.
what would be a
Pat.
spin-off name? Like Have Panda Will View? Have
Have friendly will view.
We'll have ants. I mean, that's a good
have
one.
ants?
Hmm.
Have ants?
Yeah,
ants.
have ant will view. Ant reviews and views everything.
Yeah.
Have Ant review.
So go ahead, Jonas.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. So, Patrick, are you preparing yourself for the June of Jonas month or Jonas of June month?
Jonas in June month. Actually, I will be looking forward to seeing that on the Friendly Man. I think you guys should
The
do.
friendly cheetah. I love it.
The friendly
I have to
cheetah.
prepare for the Jonas of June month, man.
You've been preparing your whole life, man. Get your shit together.
Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently.
So there's a good chance I'll probably be on tomorrow night, fellas, because I just love going live with you guys, and this is just
Oh, yeah.
Which is
fantastic.
tonight our time.
Yeah, tonight
Yeah,
our
yeah.
time. We'll see
Yeah.
Wes in Echo again.
Oh yeah, oh Patrick,
well,
what do you think of my West impersonations?
I thought it was down. I think you should actually say that before you sign off. You should say, "Enter the Ice Lord."
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah, you know what though? If they say if you say that, "Enter the Ice Lord," he will appear. He's like Candyman.
All right.
It'll be he'll appear in like a cloud of cigarette smoke.
Yeah. The view counts too,
Just
so
like-
let's try it.
Damn right.
All right, so Pat, what do I say again? Enter the Vice Lord?
Enter,
Ice Lord.
enter the Ice Lord.
Okay, all right, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, enter the Vice Lord. Shit, I gotta do it again. All
Turn
right.
your lamp off, James. Turn your lamp
Oh
off.
yeah. That's right. He's really mystique about it, isn't he?
That's right.
He's like, yeah.
Enter the Ice Lord.
All right, here we go. Enter the Ice Lord, the Ice Lord of Ices, me. And then wait, hold on. Maybe I can do an echo one. Hey, everybody, enter the Vice Lord. It's a great show. It's a great channel. I think all you guys will like it.
You sound like Woody Allen.
Hey, I can't believe it. I'm on the Friendly Man again. This is such an amazing time to be here.
Unbelievable.
My favorite movie I ever did was Bananas. I was gonna make oranges, but I just made bananas. So, Mr. Dan, come on back anytime if you
Yeah,
want.
it's nice
I
meeting
will.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. The floor is yours. Okay. Why does he make it sound like I am from New York? Oh, that's right. You're from the Sasquatch area. Oh, how should I have known? I don't know how Sasquatches sound. So, well, everyone, this has been a great Have Cheetah Will View interview that we've had.
Thanks for having us on for the 10th time.
Yeah,
That's right.
Ever since we've been on Have Cheetah Will View, just lots of opportunities have been coming our way, and we have to take them.
Yes, sir.
You know, absolutely. And so here's what's coming up on the Have Cheetah Will View. June of Jonas month, 30 Days of Jonas.
And we're still continuing Women of Horror Month.
That's right.
So Pat,
And
before I sign
remember,
off,
anybody who does a video in April and mentions mashed potatoes in their video will be up for a big prize given by James.
Oh, I'm from Turkey. It's kind of expensive for me to send something, but I'll ask Anthony. You know what? Ant has merchandise. He can send anything to anybody. So,
Oh,
Ant
yeah.
will give
Send
up
me,
advice.
Yeah. I'll send stickers. I got stickers,
And-
patches, teams.
I've got some.
Yeah, and the mashed
Yeah, I
potatoes
sent some
are
potatoes.
great.
Mhm.
Origins come from Ant Reviews things. He's the origin of it all. So, hey, Patrick, I'm so glad that we had you on your own show. It's been incredible. You know,
It had to have been an honor for you, Patrick. This had to have been an honor for you.
I was 50 minutes late to the party.
listen, you guys are just fantastic. I love all of you guys. People in the chat, which is just probably Echo. Thanks, guys. Echo, you're great. Yes, I will try to fix my Echo impersonation. Okay. And when I wake up, I will see you guys on live. I'm sure of it tomorrow morning.
More than likely.
More than
So-
likely.